everyone. I'm glad you made it. I made it. And that's
We were worried.
really all that matters. No.
Wow.
Well, we were. All of us were here.
The rest
and
of us
then
could
we're
just have
where
like a
the
little
hell
show
is
without you,
David?
I've stroked all your egos for 3 weeks in a row. I get to have a little bit of stroking this time. And with that innuendo hanging
Hold
out
on,
in the
hold
open,
Just like David.
let's jump into it. My name is David. Welcome to an exciting episode from Legends of Logomancy. This is Tales from Logomancy Frontier Adventures. I'd like to thank our amazing players for being here and being more prepared than I am and getting here on time.
Well, he said it, we didn't. Time for us to go. Bye, guys.
Now, of course, you don't
See ya.
you don't come for my shining face. You come for the talented and far more exciting people down below. So we're just gonna go through the list, and this time I have them all in order, so I won't miss any of them. Brian, how was your week?
I had a nice
Who's
week.
Brian?
It was a little lonely because my fiance was gone for the majority of it. She was out in Sacramento visiting family, but that just
she's
gave me
still gone?
time to do some stuff around the house. Mounted a Dyson and Yeah.
Stroke your ego.
chilled. Yeah, stroke the ego for a few nights. Yeah, but no, it was a good time. Just working away and seeing friends for birthdays, and went to an emo night. That was quite interesting. A lot of Panic at the Disco, stuff like
Love
that.
it.
Yeah, it was a good night. Dickens.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Dickens, a good one.
Geek, how was your week?
My week, it was pretty good. I got to, as my name would say, geek. I got to really geek out this weekend. Had like a Mando marathon day with my friends, and then the next day I went to tournament for a card game. Didn't get far, but it's a lot of fun to play the card game, and because I do have a graphic designer thing, the art on it is fantastic. So I just got obsessed with the art, which got me obsessed with the game. So I got to do that, and
What
the
game?
Digimon card game.
Oh,
That's
Cool.
exciting.
Nerd.
Nerd. Yes, a nerd, and proud of it. Check yourself, Neon. I'm coming for your brand.
Yeah,
Be proud.
we could all sing that theme song. So
Other than that, been mostly just staying at home. My car broke down the other day. That was fun. So, complete oil crack in it. So I gotta get that fixed. Yeah, fun.
Nice. Solid.
Oh,
Fun.
so much fun. And yeah, that's pretty much been my week. It hasn't been terrible.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Neon, how was your week?
Let's see what happened since last time I saw you. Ended stream Wednesday night, Thursday morning, got rear-ended. Let's go.
Oh no.
First car incident ever in
Ooh.
my 8 years of driving.
oh shit.
wasn't your fault.
Yeah. No, I got rear-ended.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't even your fault.
Exactly. Phenomenal times for everyone involved. And then did some awesome stuff over the weekend. Played some board games, had some beers, and now we're, back into the middle of the work week. Back on the
What
grind.
board game?
Oh God, like 5 of them. And I was maybe a little bit too inebriated at this point to tell you in any clarity.
There were some
War games.
pieces, and I'm pretty sure there was some dice.
There was dice.
Yeah. See, I got that right.
Quicks, I think, was one of the games that was the name of it.
Heard that.
Sounds like an exciting weekend.
It was good.
Pixie, how was your weekend?
Oh boy. I mean, I've been working like crazy. Boy, yeah, I've been working so much, but I mean, it's good. It's good. My job keeps me busy and keeps my brain busy. And then my free time, I finished up a packaging redesign for one of the kind of standard beers that my brewery makes. And this afternoon I got a video from the printer who does our cans, and it's just a little video of him just like turning the can. He zooms in on all the parts so that we can see it really well before the proof gets all the way to us. And looking at it, I was just like, oh my god, this is the best one I've made yet. This is so cool. So yeah, that's been the
awesome.
exciting part. And yeah, so I like feel really accomplished, and it's the best one yet.
Amazing.
Everyone hydrate.
Shit, my water's
I have water.
I
Ooh.
can't.
No, hold on. I
You
was
can't
prepared.
get it.
I did bring water.
Very smart.
I did mine already.
I've been drinking tea, so.
Oh, is it
Yeah, the
stale
water's been
water,
sitting-
David?
It's been
Oh.
Has
sitting
that
there
water
for a
been
little
sitting
bit.
there for a little bit?
Oh.
That's,
Yeah, this is yesterday's water, for sure. But it's my cool like D&D water bottle. So
There's a
Fun.
slime.
I do. He's an baby adventurer
Aw.
slime. He's full of
I love
treasure.
it.
Now, I've been meaning to ask Pixie. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm
Pissy. Wow.
Wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
We forgive you.
I'm full on speech impediment.
I
today.
won't.
Let's you do you own the brewery? Are you one of the owners of the brewery? I don't think we
I am
clarified
one
that
of-
last week.
I am one of the owners of the brewery. Yes. Sweat equity partner, kind of from day one, sort of deal. And yeah, it's awesome. It's a really cool industry to be into because, like, I'm not much of a drinker myself, but my mom collected beer labels, like really pretty ones, and did all kinds of crafts and stuff with them. So this opportunity, I was like, oh man, my mom would have been real sad if I didn't take this opportunity, so I better take it.
We'll have to revive Roll for Beer for a special episode to have a conversation about that. I think I feel like you're
there has been some discussion of doing an episode. I've chatted with James and Riley, so
okay.
yeah.
And last but not least, Tegan, how was your week?
My week's been good. Kind of like I said on Monday stream, hung out with some friends, watched some anime, played Here to Slay, which is a card game with cute designs. And you either have to defeat 3 monsters or collect all of the classes to win. And then I've been helping a friend with some D&D game that he's gonna start running, and then been doing some stuff for this game.
Sounds like
So I'm
everyone's had
excited to show some of that off.
How was your week, David?
Yes, how was
Yeah.
Dave?
How was David?
I had a job interview, and if you've hung out in our last Viking Thor's Day, you'll know which job it was for. So I'm very excited. It has moved faster than they told me it was going to move. Things have been going
good.
very well, so hopefully I will be gainfully employed soon. Be back to the working class.
Yeah, I know what you
It
mean.
sucks.
You know, you miss it, and then you're here, and you go and then you
Yeah.
miss. The grass is always greener on the other side.
So the foyer
That's all I'll
into day trading cryptocurrency didn't work out? Or...
No, well, I mean,
Oh,
no.
I
I had a joke for that, but I was like, I didn't want to touch crypto with a 10-foot pole. I have been doing some pretty cool things on the side, I'll be honest with you, and like some of that's come to like the end of its, or it's come to like full fruition recently. I don't know how much of I'm allowed to talk about, seeing all things considered, but
We'll keep it a mystery for now.
yeah, let's just say we've extended a relationship we have with a partner of the channel, and it's been going fantastically.
Oh, I love that.
So, with that said, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. But first, we are going to run a really short ad to keep us from having one in the middle of the chaos. So, get mad at Jeff Bezos, and we'll see you guys in a minute.
See you soon.
everyone get mad. Everyone,
that's just-
everyone get mad at
There's no
Bezos.
light a candle.
Yell at
Really,
him.
Jeff Bezos?
Light a
Light a
candle. Are we doing a seance?
Light a torch.
Are we summoning a demon?
back. Now, up until now,
Woo.
I have taken the opportunity to describe what happened for you. However, today we're going to change things up a little bit. From the perspective of Colt, what happened last week?
So last week, we fought Taz. So a little background on that is kind of, I say 3 out of the 5 of us decided, oh, we should watch this magical mall. Because you never know who's gonna come in. So Colt opened the door to the basement. We kind of found where the vault was. And we were just chilling, taking turns with shifts. And then when Lovely Ski went to get Flint, she was caught by Taz. Back story over. So we fought Taz, who was miffed and basically thought that we thought that he couldn't handle his shit and protect anything. And we're like, no, we just wanted to help as well, even though you didn't ask. And we almost got him down, but 2 of us, 3 hit points, yes. But 2 of us decided, you know what? We had fun. I think we both kind of have come to terms that we're stronger than you think we were, and hey, you're pretty good at what you do. And then we decided we're gonna head over to what's his face's mansion, because Taz told us more about the pillars and how they're magical, and they may have caused something with the magic rift or something like that. Colt doesn't know a lot about magic, so he was half listening. Yeah, so we're gonna go to Krieg's. Did I say his name again?
Krieg.
Krieg's house.
Creek's house. We're going to Creek's house.
That's been abandoned for years to try and find out more.
Perfect. That sounds like an excellent recap.
Thank you.
And Skelletta got a shotgun on layaway.
Yes, Skelletta got a shotgun on layaway.
And
Skelletta
Flint
just
tried
went
to barter out too many
circle.
potions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And last week, that's where we left you, at the conclusion of that, leading into the next day, where you had planned to head out to the Krieg estate. Before leaving, in the morning, Taz had given you a little bit of information. He told you that it is about a 3 days ride away from where you are right now, heading to the west. And if you kind of hug the edge of the frontier along the prairies, you'll eventually come across the small trade route that leads inland to handle it. With that taken care of, your provisions purchased, you are all set to leave Sandmist. Is there anything you want to do before you go?
I think before I leave, or Colt leaves the frontier house, if Taz is standing there watching us, Colt's gonna look at him, point his fingers as he's walking backwards, and be like, I get a better lock for that door, by the way.
Oh.
And then leave.
Oh. Yes.
Let's be honest, Colt took no damage from that fight.
No, he did not.
He's the only one allowed to be cocky. Taz just kind of like watches you go in that like stoic way that you used to know him as.
Yeah.
I love how you call him Tazzy now too.
Yeah.
DM's getting into
We'll
it.
see.
Oh, my
always.
fault. You're welcome.
We'll see you when you get back, Taz.
Be safe.
What is that now? 6-0?
For you, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe, yes. 6 losses in a row for you. Quite impressive.
I mean, when it's your fine self, I don't think it's anything to be too upset about.
An unbalanced game is not necessarily a good one.
It's fine. I still beat you in chess.
You see him kind of like irritatedly twitch a little bit, like that stings a little bit more than it should, than you would suspect. Yeah. Anything else before you go? You guys gonna take care of anything quick, within reason?
No,
I have
church
a
is
quick
all
question
set.
for the DM.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You said that Taz, put money aside for us, for purchases bigger. He gave us money. He said we're also gonna put some money aside for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know how much that is?
No.
Can I ask?
You can. You can ask Taz for sure.
Oh, I don't think Ski is ready to talk to Taz. Oh, I think Ski is just gonna just nod and walk out. Just
Oh.
I feel so bad for
ears
Ski.
down.
Hmm.
For one thing, she couldn't protect her friend.
Yeah.
She'll make it up, I'm sure.
I think Colt's gonna take his letters to the post office, but that's about it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we gotta find a sponsor. Anyone want to go to that shopper again and shake him down to be our sponsor?
Tess
I
said not
don't-
to worry about it yet.
I think Taz said to leave it for now, and I think that's for the best.
Ski's just gonna be quiet, just walking beside you the whole time.
Yeah, so you head out from town. It's
Yeah.
your first day is pretty eventless. You know, you as you head through, the road that you're traveling on goes from being a well-trodden road, diverges south at one point, and eventually just ends up being a little bit more than a grass trail that's been stamped down a few times by people walking across it. It's mostly maintained in the sense that whoever does come through here seems to make an effort to at least keep the grass flat and things fairly even and contained. But it's your first day of travel goes by with almost nothing really of note to consider. You do get a better feel for the prairies. For those of you that maybe haven't traveled along them, as you move away from the hoodoos, they dip away and it becomes just endless rolling fields of grass. If you've seen water before or the ocean, to you it almost looks like a large ocean in the middle of the continent, however, of grass. The way it ebbs and flows sometimes catches your attention. It's calming and peaceful and quiet. You don't really encounter anyone along this trail. It's not a well-traveled, well-used route. Clearly, whatever it had been intended for originally, it's no longer really taken care of. But as you travel along, you come to your first stop for the night. And with relative ease, you set up a camp and you get yourselves settled in. I will leave it to you guys to decide, your order of watches and what you want to do while you're set up around camp.
Now,
What time of day is it first? Sorry, Neo.
It's like the sun has set, or it hasn't quite set, like it's getting there low in the sky.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily like nighttime yet.
Not yet. Okay. Alright, sorry, you may continue, Neon.
what do we have in terms of like firewood? Do we bring something with us, or?
Yeah, I would say it's something you carry in your provisions.
I got a tent.
You might want to set that up.
Do we still have our lizards?
Yeah, you could take if you wanted.
Have we
for
been
sure.
riding on them? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. How we were.
Makes more sense than us just trekking out into the prairies. Well, seems like a good a place as any. Anyone here a half decent cook?
That'd be a nature check. Because if so, I got you.
Uh-huh.
I'll give
I
you
know.
nature or survival.
Okay, let me. I think Ski's actually really good at being a cook. Let me double check. Do not quote me. Survival, I have a +2.
Same.
Nature, I have a +1. So.
Gotcha. Looks
I
like,
haven't been rolling the greatest in this campaign, except for that nat 20, which did bupkis. So. My time to shine.
You got this. I believe in you.
Sure, I think Ski would just get up, go over, and start like cooking.
Yeah, I'll say you give me either a survival or a nature check. I'll give you either one.
Do you want a 17 or a 17?
You know what? I think I'll give you the 17. I'll give you advantage because I'm a kind DM like that. You can have the 17.
Oh, you know what? You're so sweet.
Yeah, you as you sit down, you kind of like crack your little bunny knuckles, and you sit down and
Your buckles.
You make a hell of a good little meal. It's stuff that you bought in town. It's little snippets here and there and stuff like that. But it's pretty good eats for sitting around a campfire.
Salt. Yeah, just some stew.
Stew, right?
Damn.
Nothing wrong with stew.
That Taz
Quiet.
never holds back.
Quiet the whole time. Just
Dead quiet the whole time. Nah, Taz never holds back. I swear, gonna take another week to get this crick out of my neck.
That was a solid fight.
We could have had him. Almost did.
I feel like we were real
Sorry.
close, but I think the respectable thing to do, since one of our folk was already dead, was
Yeah.
let him bring him back.
I mean, I wouldn't have killed him. I still need him.
Oh. Heck no.
I
But
think
man, that was cool to see everyone's talents out there. Quite the versatile crew.
Yeah. And I want to apologize to you, Hearts. I
What
could have.
for?
I could have fixed you up halfway through that, or at least kept you from passing over. But I got a little too focused.
I mean, it was sure comes some kind of experience. Something new anyway. I'm not awful concerned about it. We were warned in the first place, and told that we'd make it through the other side.
Fair enough. See anything good over there?
I wish that I could say that, but I don't know that white light they talk about.
What's up?
Didn't see anything quite so sweet and peaceful.
Fair enough. Yeah. The white light's all of a myth anyway. Just something simple that even simpler folks can focus on and hold on to for hope or whatever they'd like.
Every now and then I wish I could hold on to something like that.
I ain't nothing that simple, not for people like us.
Not in our nature.
These beans are real good. Ski. Good cooking.
just nodding. Just
Who taught you to cook, Ski?
my family.
Can I go sit down beside Ski?
Sure.
Hearts is just gonna.
Ain't nothing stopping you.
That's more of a question for are you sandwiched in between two people or?
No, I'm just I am as far away from the group as I can get while making cooking. So while everybody's saying, I'm just on the other side.
Okay. I'm gonna come over to where you're at. Now, for somebody who's so off the chipper all the time, seem a little on the quiet side the last bit.
guess.
What's got you so down?
I failed.
Failed at what? We're all still standing here and eating a mighty good meal.
I failed. It's my family stuff. It's not important. It's not important. I failed to protect a friend, and that's worse than anything that this or any frontier can throw at me.
I mean, you better not be talking about me, because if that's the case, I got a few things to tell you about how I managed to die.
Hearts here phoned it in halfway through that fight. Practically gave up.
I'm gonna say that first of all, I was
Across
not
the
so
camp.
much. I was first of all.
She gave up the first time.
Hearts is like, I'm not gonna say that's wrong. See, I was not so much hungover as I was still much too drunk to have a weapon in my hands. And in case you didn't notice, I missed, well, more shots than I'd care to admit to. And with a target that size as well.
Somewhere
And
in the
you'll-
distance, Taz is like, I feel like I've been insulted.
He sneezes. It's a hard cut to him sneezing.
Someone's talking about
I mean, didn't he get like 3 feet taller when he took off all of his gear and stood up
yeah,
straight?
he straightened his back. He's just like, all right, and we're just like, oh shit.
Giant man.
So
Yeah.
I do want to share something. Halfway through that fight, I don't know if you guys noticed, your hits started hitting easier.
Because he
Yeah.
took out the armor.
So
right?
his armor, it has an ability where he can like literally drop the plates off of it, and he loses 3 AC points, but he gains 50 or an additional 20 feet of movement and bonuses to strength and dex.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
He's
noticed.
got 2 stages of
what?
fight.
Yeah.
You know what, David? I noticed.
Look, I watched the first health bar get depleted and it refilled, David. I was there.
We were like, we're almost there. Oh shit.
Yeah.
We watched that health bar go to the end of the TV screen, David.
We're like, oh no. Well, Ski's gonna hear that and just shake their head and say it doesn't matter.
I want you to take some time and think about it, because if I'd made more of an effort, if I'd changed my tactics, if I'd done anything except for stand there swaying side to side, shooting off my pistols, I mean, I would have been in a lot better shape. So don't think that you ever need to make up for my drunken stupidity, because that's way too much for one person to try to make up for.
I appreciate it. Like speaking full words, not like being like, I'm so happy. No, like sounding actually kind of smart, says, I appreciate it, but due to my family heritage and what we symbolize, I do apologize, but I failed, and I failed to protect a friend. Doesn't matter if they're responsible or not, I failed to protect them, and that's my conscience to bear.
Well, you ever feel talking about all the weight of that family stuff? I mean, you're surrounded by friends.
Remember, even the tallest troubles look smaller when shared.
I appreciate it. It's just I took a vow and I broke that vow. So I just gotta deal with it right now. I'm sorry for bringing it down.
Don't you apologize. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to try to make an effort to make it easier for you to not have to let me down in the future.
Okay. I'm sorry, Hearts.
Don't be sorry, kiddo.
So we're eating. Can I ask a favor, DM?
Mm.
Ski has a viola.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Can Ski sit down and start playing the viola
Yeah,
for everybody?
100%. Give me a
That fiddle is hot.
yeah.
Give us that cowboy viola.
Performance?
Yeah, it's a performance.
10.
It's a pretty.
Can I guide?
Sure.
I'd like to guide.
If you want to guide.
Guidance. Roll an extra d4. Add that boy in there.
Like, we need some tunes, man.
I am doing it subtly. I want you to feel better about yourself.
It's like tuning it before giving it back.
11?
11 is still like it's pretty decent little like it's a backcountry kind of performance where it's exactly what you expect sitting around a campfire. You're not putting on a show at a grand opera or nothing, but you're sitting around a campfire with some friends.
All right. Sitting there just playing their viola.
That ain't bad. I heard worse.
Dinner and a show, thanks. Yeah, that's amazing.
Reminds me back before I left the big cities. You could never, ever get that haunting sound of that that youth choir out. God, you ever witnessed one of them practicing? Whew. That is, you know, if something doesn't make you beg for the divine, it's gonna be that.
Now, you know everybody in the comments who's been in a youth choir or any sort of choir growing up is going to be after you. Like, hey, we were bad, but we weren't that bad.
I would just like to say I represent that remark. And as good as we were, yes, we were sometimes also that bad.
I learned on a
Second.
$25 million sound system listening to exactly the sound you're talking about. I can make anything sound good thanks to those kids. So you know what? They've got their place.
I don't need them anymore. I shall cast them out. Hunt them for sport. So
I'll
should
do the
we have
washing
people-
afterwards. Ski did such a service cooking for us. I've got to make sure everything's clean.
I'll help you there, Father.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, honestly, outside of Sandmist, Sophia's fine. Or Miss Bell. Father is, it's good, it's nice, it is what I am, but it doesn't need to be always.
Sophie?
You got it, Sophie.
I'll take it. You know what?
You know
I'll
what?
take
Nicole's just gonna make nicknames for everybody.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna stick. That's
That is his thing. You're absolutely right.
All right, tripod. Let's get these dishes done.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go start putting the tents up.
Ski doesn't have a tent, so Ski's just gonna lay outside.
I feel like my tent's a 2-person or something, but Or
Ski's
actually, I
more
don't
to
know.
one with nature, so they'll
That's
just lay outside and just stare up at the stars, playing the viola.
I don't have a tent either. I will also be staying outside.
Nicole, do you want to go snuggle up with Sophie? Big spoon, little
Yes.
spoon, or massive spoon, teaspoon?
Massive spoon, tiny spoon. It's like the soup. It's like the ladle that you put in the pot versus that little decorative spoon your grandma collects.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, it is a 2-person tent.
Huh.
So
I'm mighty fine. I'll take first watch too. I'm feeling pretty rested after everything.
I don't mind taking last.
it's okay if I do not have dark vision, so I should probably take first watch, because either
You
way
know
I'd
what?
be screwed.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll be right
Does your
here though. I
character have
probably
dark
won't.
Vision?
No, but
Yeah.
I know it goes lighter towards the end of the
Heart.
watch.
Not cool.
Oh, sorry.
I have no. I'm human.
Oh God! So we got 3 people with no dark vision and 2 that do.
Am I the only one?
I've got
Mr. Flint, please tell me you can see in the dark.
Well, you see, not technically, but I have here the goggles here allow me to do so. So
He has
Yo.
dark
I
vision
am able
goggles.
to. Yes, I can take one of the deeper watches of the night. Sure.
Flint's just out
Alright.
there like, yeah, I can see in the dark. perfectly.
Exactly.
It's completely ignoring the entire like setting and everything. It's a modern night vision goggle set.
100%.
It just goes like it turns on with that high pitch.
Do you remember the what was it? I think it was Spec Ops 2 or not Spec Ops. Yeah, it might have been Spec Ops 2 came with like a set of night vision goggles that were like
Yes.
really terrible. It's
Yeah.
those.
They're so trippy to actually use if you've ever used some proper night vision goggles.
Well,
Bizarre.
I'll take the earlier of the night watches. It'll be getting darker, and then you can take the later. It'll be getting lighter.
Sure.
Mr.
Put me at
Mr.
high
Flint.
midnight.
I'll get you at high moon.
Love that. Yes, there
That
it
makes more sense.
is. Oh,
High
I
midnight.
feel like that has to go on a shirt.
you gotta build on this.
We
dude.
call in the
Pistols,
other game
pistols
that
at
I'm
high moon.
playing, in the other game that I'm playing, and there's no sun in the world at all, and
That's
so
fun.
that's and it's a western. It's high moon.
Oh,
That's
Or,
funny.
you know, Star Shadow.
It's
Okay.
great.
So,
So I guess Ski will take first watch.
Ski, you get first watch. As your friends settle in for the night, you have an opportunity to sit, relax, take away what you want to do with the night. But first, can you give me a perception check?
Please, 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 please. 15?
15. Okay. With a 15, you know, as you're sitting here, there's not really a lot of tree cover in this space, and I don't know if any of you've camped in the true heart of the prairies around, say, Tabor, for no specific reason. But there's, you know, it's still like it's mid-late summer. It's still normally warm if you're anywhere near a forest, but out here in the prairies in the middle of the night, it's like the heat just kind of vanishes. And around the fire is one of your places where you find your warmth, and you get to sit and listen to the crackle and snap of just the world going by. You can hear deer off in the distance, shuffling away, other wildlife making their way, the hoots of owls as they hunt for the night, catching field mice and such. It's a very serene and peaceful kind of experience that settles into you. And as you look up into the skies, you get a view of the night sky that's very hard to understand for most people, especially most people who've grown up around the more modern cities. It's horizon to horizon stars. Even the moon seems a little bit more pale in comparison to the sheer number of stars that you gaze up upon. You feel yourself, some constellations maybe that your papa had talked to you about before, able to trace them in the sky and follow them. Slightly different from where you remember them being, considering where you're from, but still able to find them fairly easy. You're able to track the Western Star. No Northern Star here, but there is the well-known Western Star. That you're able to spot very quick and very easily. And it's a very cool, calm night for Ski. What would you like to do with the rest of your night?
Well, like you said, Ski can. Well, Ski was. They're not from a big city. They're from a small little forest village. So seeing the stars and everything, they probably could map out like where their home is. So probably just getting a little homesick on where their home is, and pretty much just takes out Strudel and starts brushing Strudel's fur with like a comb. And one thing Ski does have is a trophy of a hunt that they have. That got really loud.
It did get really loud.
The hunt.
So
The hunt.
I believe that that's her blanket. So she just has it wrapped around her, and it's like a giant wolf. So it's like a wolf, and so she has that wrapped around her, and she's just like holding Strudel, and she starts singing a prayer her papa taught her, and just to center herself from what she was been feeling the past 2 days.
as your watch starts to come to an end, you have to wake up Sophia.
Ski's just gonna go over to Sophia and because she's outside too, and
Yep.
is just gonna like bend down and just gently just start like patting their head.
Oh,
Like, I don't want you to get mad at me. Just like a little.
Yeah, I'm up. Hey, Ski. Have
Are
a
you
good.
cold? Do you need a blanket?
Nah, I'm used to this.
Okay.
Ain't my first night out in the fields.
Ski's just gonna go to her glider, who pretty much is like lying down, and their wings are bent, so it's like a tent. And just shovel in between the
Hey,
wings of the blanket.
before you tuck in for bed, why don't you come here for a second?
Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble, kid.
He's gonna just
Yeah.
waddle back and sit down, like pouting.
Yeah. And I kind of like pick a spot that's like just far enough away from everyone that if like we're talking casually, it's not gonna like really disturb them. But like not so far away that like we can't still turn around and see everyone if we need to, you know. Be just stone's throw, not even. And I sit down, kind of in the grass, and pat the ground beside me. Come sit. I gotta talk to you about something for a second.
Ski's gonna come and just sit down, Strudel in their arms. Strudel's just passed out, just like legs up, just like kicking, like
Oh,
Like
like
Freeman.
asleep.
That thing sure is adorable. Now, I want to talk to you because I think you and I are not the same, but I think we're similar. You've been
You don't have
carrying. You're right, I don't have ears. But I didn't mean similar physically. I mean, I don't think there's a person in this party that's more dissimilar from me than you are.
You're tall.
And you're very short.
I know.
Now, if we're done with the oh, sorry. If we're done with the obvious statements, what I'm meaning to say here, Ski, is we got in a fight and you feel like you made a mistake and you're carrying that with you because you feel bad about it. And I know we've beat this with a stick like a dead horse. We beat this dead horse with a stick so many times. And at this point, you're feeling bad. Everyone knows you're feeling bad. You know, Hearts tried to make it right with you. I kept you from getting drunk that night, and I think that was the right decision.
You broke a lot of bottles.
Oh, yeah. And I'll break more. It was fun.
There was glass everywhere.
Taz can clean it up. It's his prize for winning the 6th fight in a row. But look, truth is, I know what it's like to make a mistake like that. To feel like you have to uphold something and fail to do so. And I reach around into my kind of jacket and I pull out this pouch and I toss it into your lap. It's fairly light for the size of it. In there is a physical reminder of every single time I let someone down.
Can I look?
Yeah, you can look.
Husky's just gonna gently open it.
It is
And open big.
50 to 60 spent revolver shells that have different engravings on them. It's that bag.
Oh, we're gonna get into some emotional things, guys.
Every single time someone didn't deserve something they got, they're there in that bag.
He's gonna look at
Yesterday,
the bag. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
yesterday morning, last night, I don't know. You're carrying around that guilt. Morning, last night, and that's crushing you. This used to crush me, and I'll kind of jostle the bag a little bit when it's in your lap. I found a way to deal with it. And instead of feeling sorry for myself, I went out and I started to did something about it. Goal was not sorry, but better. And I'll kind of reach into a different pocket that I have and I'll produce a spent shell and I'll hand it to you. I go, if you'd like, you take that vow, whatever it is that you broke, you put it in that shell. We'll put it in the bag and we'll deal with it later when you feel like you've earned, redeeming that.
Ski's gonna look at the shell, and just a single tear just falls, and they kind of like jump into your arms and like hug you and like hide their face in your chest. Just like,
oh, watch out. And I try to like reach around you to like grab the bag to keep it from spilling 60 spent bullet shells all over the ground in the middle of the night.
and just says, pretty much it's just start speaking in Sylvan. I don't know if you know Sylvan.
I don't know Sylvan.
So just start speaking Sylvan, but you don't know what she's saying. But at the end, she says, I'm sorry about your burden, and I want to help too.
Ain't no burden to me. This is a debt, and I'll live with it. I'll probably die with it. But, hell, I'm here now. I'm doing good things with good people, and I'm making it up to every last person, every last shortcoming. I couldn't be a good person then, so I'm being a good person now.
He looks at the empty bullet casing and just like looks around, and she doesn't know what to write with, so she just does what she thinks is appropriate from her heritage and just like bites some blood off and writes something in Sylvan inside it gently. Like, just bites her thumb and just does that. And then she takes it, and it's just in Sylvan. And she puts it in the bag. And she goes, is it okay if it's in there with yours?
It's all right if it's in there with mine. To be honest with you, at this point, I feel like I'm carrying... I mean, I'm a holy woman. I'm a woman people come to lay their troubles to rest. At this point... my bullets are in there, yours, little coyotes, anyone in Sand Mist.
You have a dog named Coyote?
No, one of the little girls in town, everyone calls her Coyote. She's small, a little loud, and finds a lot of stuff in the dust.
He's gonna move and just like lay their head like on your shoulder. Or like as much as they can, just like on your arm, and just lies there, just like.
Everyone's got something, kid. What matters is that we deal with it, we do something about it, and we don't let it eat us from the inside.
You're a good person.
I try my best. I try my best.
Thank you. And falls asleep. Right, like on you.
Yeah, I don't move a muscle.
Just like don't move.
Like it's not like a yeah. It's not like a stressed don't move, but it's like a I understand what's happening here, and I will respect this.
Ski's bonding. Let her bond. Her species are bonding.
Okay, and I will roll my perception. What a terrible
day for oh.
I will also guide myself, so I will roll a d4 additional. 15.
Yeah. So similar situation. Just now that the night's actually truly set in. Oh, excuse me. There's a silence that comes with it all. Again, it's for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of actually camping in the true prairies, it's a deep silence. There's no wind through the trees, no rustling of animals in the woods or anything like that. The noise that you do hear is just the grass kind of swaying side to side. The stars look down at you. This absolutely awe-inspiring visage. And at the corners of your mind, as a religious person, you're very attuned to the divine. And there's an almost relaxed moment in it, a mesmerizing moment where you feel just the slightest touch. Like you could almost reach out and have a connection with what's out there. But as soon as you draw attention to it, it fades away. What would you like to do with your night?
After that, I sit there and I try not to move. I probably shift a little bit and very gently usher Ski from like being upright on my arm to like laying on my lap. So it's a little bit more comfortable and they're not going to have back problems tomorrow morning. And I also take some time to lay the rifle down beside me that I picked up from the fort. And I trace some symbols over it with my finger, say some prayers, and it just, what was once a very dusty, a little rusty, kind of out of use rifle, it polishes up, the wood is freshly lacquered, and it is, I'm transferring my holy weapon from my revolver to the rifle.
Okay. Beautiful. And your watch passes without anything really of note besides you and Ski having a moment. Who is next?
How are you gonna wake them?
Okay.
Don't. Oh yeah, I have to wake up Flint. I like have him. I'm like, well, I guess I'll just and I'll pick up a rock from beside me and I'll just toss it at Flint.
It would like hit the side of the tent that I'm in, and you just hear like from inside, it's like the inside of a drum getting hit, the head like pulled tight, just like thump. I'm like, oh jeez, what the hell? Oh, pop outside, is everything all right out here?
15 rock attack roll.
Breaks a hole
sure
through
it
the
hits
tent,
the
it
tent.
smacks him in the face, he's bleeding.
Just, you want to make sure I hit him, not like 5 feet to the left of him, you know?
I mean, I wasn't gonna make you roll for it, but it's good to know. It's good to know you succeeded.
I mean, I have a bunny on me. Like.
It's like a cat.
You're
It's
right.
up
That should
asleep
probably
on
be
you,
a
you're not allowed to
disadvantage.
move.
No.
Yeah.
That's why I rolled in the first place.
Ooh, I see why you had to throw that rock there. How's the
turn.
watch been going?
Not bad. It's peaceful tonight.
All right, it looks mighty fine. Oh, would you look at that sky? That's beautiful.
Yeah. You had many times where you're seeing the night sky like this, Flint?
Not a ton since we came out to Sand Mist a bit, but back where I'm from, you would see the northern lights, but you wouldn't see. It was still a pretty big town, so you had to get out to see this. Go from time to time, every now and again, but made sure to show Maribel the northern lights once or twice. She loved them.
That's fair. They're a sight to behold. Maribel. That's a good name.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Hope I can do right by her and find her. But, yeah, it's, I see the two of you are rather cozy there. You need anything?
I think I'm just
Can I fetch you anything? It doesn't look like you can move none.
You know what? Just, I think I left my hat over by the rock over there. You wanna?
Yeah, sure. Pop over and grab the obvious hat there and bring it back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Grab it.
You, sleep well.
Have a good watch. And I lay down and I put the hat over my face.
Yeah.
So Ski's laying like this. He's laying like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Flint's gonna
Here,
join.
Flint,
and
sit
it's gonna
down.
be
I'm gonna lay
like
on your
this,
lap.
And then Cole's
We'll-
gonna
we'll
join,
just-
and then Hart's gonna join, and we're gonna.
Then in the morning, we all get up at once.
Like dominoes, but in reverse.
Those chairs. But yeah, I guess start my watch. Strap on my night visions.
half asleep.
Flint
Sophia
going
from
dark.
under the
All right. Yeah.
from barely like almost asleep from under the hat. I ever tell you those things make you look like an idiot?
Now, that's not very polite of you.
Never said I was nice.
Oh, I seen proof of that. You enjoy your sleep now.
Night. Immediately out.
Immediately, like, it's just like, fuck, now I gotta redesign these things.
That looks cool, man.
Yeah, you're telling me the length extending like that? That's not cool.
Telescopic.
Yeah. All right, well, perception.
Perception.
Where's my? There we go. Yeah.
Excuse me. But 13. You've it's much similar to the others before you. You know, you are graced with that true middle of the night darkness.
Wow, that's silence. Love it.
Yeah, as everything has truly calmed down. Sounds of insects in the background have even kind of slowed. Just a little bit of noise, a gentle hum in the background of the world around you. What maybe for somebody like you who's more used to the city life, even in Sandmist, the walls are lit and everything stays relatively well lit throughout the night, is just how brilliantly bright the moon is. It's not quite a full moon. It's close, but not quite there. But it's absolutely brilliant, dazzling. It lights up the area around you, and you're pretty convinced you could probably see just fine without your goggles if you really wanted to. Between the campfire and the moon, it's a very pretty peaceful.
After that kind of biting comment, I'm just like, well, I don't really kind of want to wear it. Anyway, moon's pretty bright, so I don't really need them. They said it was a pretty quiet night, and I gotta trust my hey. I'm fine. and actually, with that, I'm gonna take them off, and I'm gonna spend some time just next to Sophia. I see as she's sleeping, her sidearm, and I'm just gonna tinker with it a little bit.
If you're gonna improve a weapon, improve my rifle.
What's that?
If you're gonna improve one of my weapons, improve the rifle.
Yeah, the one that you just did, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
I
the one
heard
that
sidearm and I was like, my revolver, no.
I think you meant like beside you.
The one beside you, yeah. And I'm going to apply what is it? The repeating shot to it, so you don't have to reload.
I already don't have to reload.
Did you?
I took the firearm master feat.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure if you were going to do that.
I did.
Then I'm just like, oh shit, well that seems familiar. Well then I need it. Then I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you see the speed loader in my belt.
I'm just gonna give it a +1 to attack then.
Bet. I will put that on there.
Attack and damage. And I'm just gonna, but I will etch a tiny little signature of mine
Is it the
on
goggles?
the stock.
It's the goggles. That's your signature. Just the...
Yeah. 2 little goggles. Yeah. No, it's the signature itself is just a shower of sparks, like Flint would make.
Nice.
Made by Flint, if you would.
Love that. That's so cool. Hey, actually,
It's
that's really cool.
That's
I
cute.
really
It
love
is.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
made by Flint. That's
Yeah.
cool.
All right. Well, yeah, that's how I'm gonna spend my time there, and
Okay.
I'll just fucking dismantle the specs, and I'll put them back, and I'll squint into the darkness with my 13.
And yeah, so you'll have to wake. I believe Hearts is next.
Or cold.
Neither of them have dark vision, so it's a 50-50.
It's getting late, so it's like maybe starting to get a little bright, and the moon's pretty big. So I'm just gonna be like, you know what, a cult for sure is my more familiar companion here. Are you in a tent, or where?
I am
where
in
are
a
you?
tent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
From
They
the
have the
sounds of it,
bougie tent.
he's got the big bougie tent.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the
I offer.
Two person.
he is
There's a space
100%
heater in there.
Colt's 100% the person who was like, we're going camping, and he went to Campers Village, because I refuse to call it Breathe Outdoors. He went to Campers Village. He went, I need the best tent you have, and that commission salesperson went, yes.
Yes.
Flint is just
It's
gonna-
got built-in padding, space heater.
Need
Flint
air
is gonna
conditioner.
move
This
the
baby's got you.
tapestries. Just kind of make his way
The
into the
tapestry.
tent.
It's bigger on the inside. It's a TARDIS of a tent.
He's gonna
Basically
take
like
his
Harry
shoes off
Potter,
in the
yeah.
foyer, stack them nicely up, and knock
There's a
on
butler. There's a butler there. Be like, may I take your order, sir?
I'll ring the.
May
the
I fluff
bell
your
for
pillow?
service.
Little golem.
There's an elevator.
Comes up from the ground.
Forget
Tent is
Magnificent
just like-
Mansion and all those spells. We just have one really fancy tent.
Yeah.
Pardon me there, Mr. Colt.
Yeah.
I think it's time for you to take your watch now.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Flint.
All right, I'll just see myself out. Oh, thanks, Henry.
Over here, good
The
sir.
door for me and everything.
Take a complimentary
Shit.
mint.
I don't have a tip on me. I think I might have. And I'll head back to bed.
We'll kind of shake his face, wake up a little bit, and probably take a seat closer to the campfire, just so he can see a little better. And
Roll
probably
me-
start looking up at the stars, actually.
Okay, well, give me a perception check here real quick.
Yes, sir. Oh, if everything would not highlight, that'd be wonderful. 16.
Looking up at the stars as you're cusping back into, what one might actually call morning. You find just a slight tinge of lighter, deep blue along the horizon that's starting to creep in. A little bit of extra insect activity. Things are starting to. You can feel like the area around you starting to wake up. And as you're staring up at the stars, the grass in front of you rustles, and from it, a coyote kind of bounds out into the moment. It stops across the fire from you. It kind of looks at you for a second. And as you look at it, it seems to consider you. It does that thing where it dips its head really low and then just takes back off into the grass. What do you usually like to do with the rest of your night?
I think he would, to make sure his arms, do his little maintenance on his arm, and his other weapons, just in case. Because out here, you never know what you're gonna run into. And then he's probably just gonna think about his twin sisters back home and if their father is driving them crazy.
Like all good dads do.
Yes.
Okay. With the end of your night coming to an end, there's only one person left to wake up.
Yeah, I go see Hearts and give her a little shake.
Is Hearts in a tent or is Hearts outside?
No, Hearts is sleeping outside, like close enough to one of one of the lizards to kind of like, you know, not be like just out in the open.
Yeah.
But yeah, sleeping outdoors.
Give her a shake and be like, Hearts, your turn. Nothing to report.
All right, getting up early it is then.
Give me your perception roll there, Hearts.
Yeah.
25.
Nice.
Shit!
Whoa,
Solid.
there we go. Let's start with that.
Hearts can see everything.
First blood.
Yeah, you are. It's the world to you. You can pick out the individual sounds. You can hear the deer that are, starting their morning walk through the area, heading off to wherever deer wander to. You can hear the sounds of, different small creatures rising up and moving through, the last vestiges of owls finishing their hunt for the night, and other birds of prey taking their place. It's a smooth, slow transition that for you seems to follow the changing of the sky as that deep band of blue slightly turns to a brilliant red and to the barest touches of pink as the sun slowly starts to approach, coming up. But you've got a bit before your companions wake up. What would you like to do with that time?
Honestly, it's not very often that Heart sees this side of a sunrise, or sees the sunrise from this side of the day, I guess you could say. No, usually it's a bedtime thing. I think that she's just kind of gonna sit there and enjoy it. The sun coming up and warming things, and she's
Join
kind
the
of
Summer
tired,
Pile.
but it's a nice start to a day.
As the sun comes up and your companions rise, you guys have a bit of time here before things go. Sophia, you start to slowly awaken with Ski still like passed out on top of you, and
Just curled up.
of course,
Yeah.
Oh, like a dog.
and sitting atop them is of course their beloved Fluffit, and the rest of your companions, settled down or settled in where they are for the night. But everyone starts to slowly rise and gather up, and you guys have a bit of time before you hit the road. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I brew some
He's
coffee.
just gonna wake up and go. Just
Yeah, sorry, bud. Sorry, Fluffball.
no, 5 more minutes.
Yeah, you can have 5 more minutes. I gotta go make some coffee.
But coffee.
I gotta get them beans in me.
It's gross stuff.
I know.
I'll be having a pot of coffee already brewing.
Flint,
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Oh,
Thank-
well, I mean, the cup of Joe first thing in the morning. I mean, that's what everyone needs, right? Again.
Who the hell is Joe?
Oh, you don't know that expression? Oh, geez. Back in Frostholm is what we call it. Well, it's just a nice cup of coffee. That's what I'm saying.
Back in where?
Frostholm.
Crosstoll. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's a little away from here.
Where I made my living.
Fair enough.
He's gonna just be up and just be like,
I think
gross.
I passed through once or twice.
Now, left you a little present there, by the
Oh.
way.
Let's see. Oh my! Wow, this is mighty fine. Hold on, and I'll
Very
like
good of you.
Everybody
clock
hydrate.
the David,
David.
making us drink.
I had nearly 69,000 bits. I had to make sure I didn't crash that threshold quite yet.
Ah,
That's fair. That's fair.
Gotta keep it nice.
Yeah, no, and
so,
I'll like test the bolts like action on it. Like moves really smooth. Like, damn, that's mighty kind of you.
Just
I really
just to be
appreciate that.
sure, that was just a normal, like, mundane rifle, right?
I mean, for the most part, ain't nothing you've done to disturb it.
Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't, because if it has magical properties, what I did wouldn't work. So you just would have had a little bit of an etching. But if it was just normal mundane, then it's a little bit better now.
Ain't nothing that I do to my weaponry that improves it or enhances it in any way. Just helps me keep track of it and helps me be a little bit more proficient with it.
Now you'll find that you can see down the sights a little cleaner, and the
Yeah,
power
no,
is a
you-
little bit stronger on it.
Dang, you really made a diamond out of this piece of coal.
That's a hobby of mine. I tinker a little bit here and there. It's something I do.
Well, here's to hoping to get to use it for something, but also hoping to not have to.
Absolutely. It has to be ready, though.
Always.
I'll cheers you a cup of
Cheers.
coffee.
since Colt's tent is now magical canon.
Canon magical.
Canon, yeah.
Read the
He's gonna come out with some breakfast.
Full kitchenette in there.
Just comes out with
It's it might not be a magnificent mansion, but it is like a tiny hut.
Like little
What's
wood
that
burning
little
stove. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you tent of Liamon's tiny hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damon's tiny tent.
Colt's tiny tent.
Before,
Colt's spacious
Tiny
tent.
tent.
before we head out for the night, or for the day, we are going to take a quick break here. We're going to take a 3-minute break, give everyone a chance to stretch the legs, spread out a little bit, and we're, of course, going to keep Big Daddy Bezos happy. So we will see you all in about 3 minutes.
Daddy Bezos.
All right. See you. And then there were 5. I have no
And we're
moonshine.
back.
Delicious.
Try not to.
It's true.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's
Ew.
going on there. That looks awesome.
No.
there you go.
Nutella's not my thing.
Lagella my Nutella.
I'm not showing up on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are
What
now.
happened?
You
Oh, I
bless
am now?
you.
Okay.
set TV volume to 5. I can hear you guys on the TV, so I'm just turning it down.
But you don't want to hear a voice twice? Aren't we lovely?
You are
We
super
are.
lovely. So
So nice you want to hear it twice.
unfortunately, Hearts received just a quick memo that she had to run back to town. So she won't be with you guys on the rest of the adventure, which just leaves us to head on our own. Your second night passes without much in the way of interest or intrigue, leaving you a third day of travel. When you kind of get to where you were expected to be, there's a fork in the road that goes north. You follow it as you were instructed to do, and you start to truly find yourself in what could be described as the middle of nowhere. Before, you were kind of following places that seemed to have features and understanding. There's a trail. It said people did occasionally come through here. But the road you're walking up now, it feels like it leads to absolutely nowhere. This is truly deep into the frontier at this point. After a day of walking, you can't hardly tell civilization even really came out here for the most part. But as the day winds on and it comes closer and closer to the end, you see a structure in the distance. As you get closer, you notice that it's actually a fairly large structure. And you get closer and closer still, and you realize that it's actually stone walls that you're seeing. And as the sun's dipping low in the sky and the darkness is starting to come in, you find yourselves arriving at the former estate of Jonathan H.G. Krieg.
Can I jump the wall?
What's your jump height?
Well, I have my skill,
Yeah.
which is rabbit hop.
Yeah.
So 5 times my proficiency.
What's your proficiency again?
3 currently?
I
3?
think it's
2
3 or
currently.
2. It's 2.
2.
So it'd be 10 feet?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to clear it. They're actually about 20 feet tall stone walls.
Oh.
Like they're tall and imposing. From what you know of Jonathan Krieg, while he was a very well-known public figure, his family life was very private. You knew he had a daughter and a son, and you knew he had a wife, but that's really about all you knew about him. He kept a lot of it under wraps, and as you're now standing outside this place, you kind of see that carried through to a lot of things. So the walls themselves are stone, and 20 feet tall. They seem to be fairly thick. They're covered in thick vines. There is a gate that kind of where the path you've been following terminates. It's a large wooden solid gate door kind of structure, like 2 massive doors would come together. And from, all of you kind of obviously think to yourselves, I'm going to push on the doors. They seem to be locked from the inside.
Hey,
I'm
Cole.
gonna burn the door down.
No, how about we unlock the door?
Colt, I choose you.
I've always been a fan of arson.
Yeah, I mean the fire can do it too.
Can I?
But yeah,
kick
try
the
the lock.
Try the nice way first.
door? Okay.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on.
monsters.
I'll go to the door, and I'll just go, please.
Yeah. See if it's unlocked. Yeah.
Can I seduce the door?
Yeah.
Sexy door.
Oh.
They're fibersexual, unfortunately. I don't think it would work for you.
Wow.
So, Colt, as you approach the door, kind of take a look at it. what you find yourself with here is there's no actual keyhole on this side of the door. It looks like these are built like actual like fort gate kind of structure where there's no external lock. They lock from the inside.
Okay. I relay that to the group.
Can I kick the door? Can I break the door?
You-
Ski's like, can I break the door?
You
Can I break the door?
I mean,
Me-
Like, just like at the other people, like looking at the party, like, can I break the door? Can I break the door?
Yeah,
I mean,
do it.
I ain't gonna stop you.
Yeah, no. I
He's gonna
see-
take out their
I'll even
battle
help you.
axe and just goes, yeah.
yeah.
And does a 21 break the door?
A 21 will hit. 7 points of slashing damage, however, will not. You notice like your axe seems to like it notches the wood. Like there's a very clear like you can tell where you hit, but the door doesn't even seem to like so much as shake on impact.
He's not happy. Just
Does this wall seem intact the whole way around?
Yep.
Damn. Well.
shall
well,
I swing
we-
again?
No one's raided it already.
Ski's gonna just keep swinging at the door. Just be like, meh. 23 and 11 points of damage.
Again, you it's slightly bigger. Like you knock like a little chip out of the door. It'd be great for a piece of kindling, but the door doesn't seem to shove. Like these are thick, heavy doors.
Heavy oak door.
I'll get through it sometime, guys. Just keep hitting the
Well.
door.
Maybe
Oh,
arson is
6.
the answer.
You as you go to swing at the door, your axe bounces off, and you just like find yourself lying flat on your back.
All right. Well, don't get yourself all up in a
Tizzy.
tizzy.
I don't like the door.
Let me just we're gonna try asking nicely again,
We all know that doors are the real enemies.
and I'm gonna just please, and I'll cast knock to unlock the door.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, you hear on the other side. Just I'm reading the description real quick to make sure I understand it. You hear on the other
Yeah.
side the like heavy sliding of like mechanics, like open in
Yep.
the background, and as it like thunks, and as that loud like boom, the doors just kind of like creak open slowly, and you know.
I rolled so well
Yeah.
for a door. It did nothing. Mother.
I mean, I'm gonna pocket that shard of wood, and I'm gonna woodwork that into some sort of memorabilia for this trip.
Ski's just gonna be like, fine, and just puts their axe behind them and just like kicks the ground and just walks in.
Don't you worry about this. Here, look, I'm gonna make you a nice bookmark. You like reading, don't you, Ski?
I can't read.
Right. So this will be a great place.
I
Just
can't
start.
read common. I can barely speak it, but I can read Sylvan.
Well, maybe. Hey, this will make a real nice doorstop. Maybe.
I
What
don't
about
have
that?
a door.
All right.
It'd be funny to make a doorstop out of a door.
Right. See
Yeah.
there. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna
Let's-
make a doorstop.
I'm gonna push the
Maybe I'm gonna
doors
keep
open.
this one. We'll
Cole's
find
gonna
something
take
else.
his revolver out as we go
He's
through
just
the
gonna
doors.
hold the axe and just creep in like
Little bunny,
Scooby-Doo
big
style.
axe. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
So as you enter into the space, it's like you find yourself in like a large courtyard, and where the walls gave the impression of fort.
We lost David.
Did I stall?
Oh, I lost everything.
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh,
I
everybody
think
stalled on my
We
camera.
lost Geek for a moment.
Oh, okay.
We
Oh,
lost Geek.
that was me. Never mind. I lost. I was like, oh, David just
It's your-
spoke for a second and then stopped. I was like, oh, he's dead. And I looked at everybody else. I'm like, oh no, it's me.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. I'm like, no.
Oh, we lost Neon.
Yeah, so the space that you find yourself in here feels like a small oasis contained inside here. So what you're looking at is at one point probably was a well-kept garden. Bushes and trees. There's a path that kind of winds through it all, and in the distance you can kind of make out that there's a house, but like everything's very overgrown, so it's kind of hard to see through till you get a little bit closer. But this used to be a very well kept, very manicured space out here in the wilds. And as you wander through, really quickly here, I'll show you on the home screen. We'll go make sure we're on the right pages. We'll do
That would be good.
And what you guys see is, where did that go? Why is that not in here? It was. My apologies. This was originally in here, but for some reason it's now not where it's supposed to be.
How rude of it.
I'm just gonna blame Roll20 being Roll20. And what you guys see is uploading, taking its sweet time, a house that looks kind of like this.
Ooh.
Okay.
So what you're presented with here is let me shrink that down so it's a little bit more. It's a large, I'd say like Edwardian style would be kind of a fair comparison. 3-story home. It's got a fountain running just, in front of it, that is overflowed and kind of trickling into a small pond. You can see like animals have made their home in this space. But probably the most interesting thing to all of you is it looks like there's lights on inside.
I like this house.
Now that's odd.
I'd say that's mighty intriguing. Now, are the lights
All right. Well,
flickering? Are they steady?
It looks like somebody's got lanterns lit inside the home.
Friend!
Well-
And just like walks up and just
hey.
opens the door. New friend!
now, do we think the lights are on and no one's home?
Well, we
or,
know what happened with
do we think that we might be in for
with Jonathan, but we never found out what happened with his family.
Oh, it's well documented. As soon
Fair enough.
as soon as he passed away, they're like, we're not living out here anymore.
Oh. They could have come back.
So his wife is Elven, so she's got a very long life by comparison, and their kids by result are half elves. They moved back to the city of Oak Lane.
You might as
Well.
well knock. He's gonna go up and just knock
I mean,
on the door.
we might as
wanna-
well case the joint, walk around, look through the windows, take some time, talk about it, and then approach it. But hey, might as well knock.
They could be friendly.
maybe not
We just
quite
knocked-
yet.
Was this within 300 feet
Oh yeah.
of where we used knock? They
Yeah.
already know we're here.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Do you knock on the door, Ski?
Oh,
Ski,
Yes?
please.
What?
We should investigate a little more before.
What, friend?
I
Saying
think
hi.
maybe perhaps we should take a small look around. I would like to be a little quiet about it.
The Ski just has their hand raised like
Like,
right
right.
above the door, just looking at them like dead in the eye. Just like, Friend.
Honestly, not to be patronizing here, Father. But we kind of gave up being quiet back with that gigantic explosion at the front gates.
I mean,
May
I
as well
did.
just knock on the door
I mean,
now.
fair.
okay, Ski just knocks,
Good.
just hears knock and just starts knocking.
As you knock
Fair,
on the door
yeah.
at first, there's no response, and then you hear a shuffling inside the house, and then you hear things being like bounced into, and things being kind of like bumped into, and you hear a muttering. It's not uncommon. In fact, it sounds like somebody dragging nails across cast iron.
Is it? Are Orcish.
Do I recognize
It's
his
not
language?
Orcish.
Elf
It's
or
do
thief?
any of you speak Abyssal?
The one time I don't take deep.
No.
As it kind of like hums around and you hear the bouncing and the thing, you know, the doors got kind of like frosted colored glass in the front of it, so you can see there's somebody moving around, and as they get closer you realize that this person is big, like capital B big.
Big friend.
And finally
I'm backing up.
you
Yeah, you guys should probably hide.
you-
Ski's right in the front.
you hear a scratching sound as if like somebody's trying to like grab something and they're not paying attention, and the door flies open, and the creature you are greeted by is a towering monstrosity. Its head might look like a wolf, might kind of look like a person. As you look closer at it, it's somewhere caught in between. It's tall, it's lanky, and its joints look unnatural. Its elbows bend weird, and it kind of like seems to be propping itself up as it comes through. It's haunched over. And Ski, from where you stand, it's not a pleasant smelling creature that comes through. And at first, as it stands up, you watch as it's got deer antlers that dig into the roof a little bit, and then it seems to like notice that it's doing it, hunch over a little bit, and it looks at you. Sophia, roll me a religion check for me.
Oh, for sure. That's a thing that I definitely have
It is a thing.
available to me, and I am good at. 13.
You
I feel
are
like that should be higher for you.
Zero?
You are familiar with what the creature you are observing in front of you is. They are called Lausts. That is Laust. It's kind of become a joke almost for the name. It's believed the name comes from somewhere, though no one's quite sure where the first one is. It just so happened to sound like the word lost, so it got left as is. To relate it to something you might be familiar with, it would be very clearly what Hollywood depicts a Wendigo as.
Okay.
But what you are familiar with them is these are people that typically have wandered into the frontier and through some means or another have usually lost their sensibility, and slowly the wilds of the frontier and something else consumes them and turns them into these monstrosities. But with your collective passive perception, you notice something odd about this particular Lost. It is wearing a suit. A tailored suit. Not a fine suit like you would expect on normal people, but even to its lanky, horribly disjointed proportions, somebody has taken the time to tailor the outfit to this thing. And as it kind of awkwardly is posed in the door, it looks down at you, Ski, as you are slowly backing away, as you said, and goes, "Can I help you?"
Hi, I'm Skiletta, but my friends call me Ski. So you can be my 10th friend, and you can call me Ski.
I love it.
Oh, that's wild. I'm having the wildest video glitch. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject. But I cannot hear or see Geek Baker at all. They do not exist to me. So I'm gonna do something about that
Are
real
they-
quick.
are they
Can
muted?
everybody else hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I can see and hear
muted
you.
for you?
No, they're just there was like a blip and they're gone, and they're like, to me they're not even in the call.
Oh, everybody else can
So
see
I'm
me?
gonna
Sounds like a refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I
Well,
refresh?
I'll give
No.
you.
No.
You're fine to everyone else. We'll give Neon a second here to refresh and catch back up quick.
He's gonna make this their friend.
there we go. Now you're here, and now I'm here.
Hi.
Yay!
Hi.
Hi, Nia.
I was so scared. I thought your Wi-Fi went out and we were all just pretending like it didn't happen.
So Ski, what are you gonna do? Just dead silence. Ski died.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I was just like,
And we all laugh.
No, Ski's just like, hi, my name is Skiletta, but my friends call me Ski. I have 9 whole friends, but you can be the 10th friend. You can call me Ski. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
It seems to consider your question for like way too long, and it goes, I don't remember.
Oh, I could give you a name.
Oh. I don't think I've quite painted this picture correctly. This thing is probably 11 to 12 feet tall.
Oh,
And
it's
like
massive.
its hands could probably, like, you can see, like, again, disjointed, heavily stretched, maybe too many joints. It looks like it could probably like just one-handed pick up Skiletta, no problem. But it's like awkwardly hunched over, having this polite conversation with her, as it's like, I would like that.
Okay, well, you're wearing a suit and you look very fancy, so we gotta give you a fancy name. Something with, how about Frederick?
I could be a Frederick.
Frederick, will you be my friend?
It seems acceptable.
Yay! Everybody, Frederick the monstrous Wendigo has officially made Skiletta's friend count.
Wow.
It's a
10.
lost.
Yeah.
Man. See, now this is a skill that I could never have. I
No,
could
I'm-
not
I'm
do
right
that.
there
Frederick
with
the
you, Flint.
monster Wendigo.
This is.
I have to
She's
I have to rename his
talented at
character
it, for
sheet really
sure.
quickly so I don't forget this.
That's
Really
gonna save our asses a lot.
And she's just gonna be like, Frederick, your suit is really nice, and you have a really nice house.
It is
I'm sorry
not
we-
mine.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry we barged in. You must be pretty busy.
Honestly, I've been taking care of this for a long time.
Oh, you must be lonely.
I might be.
Oh. Have you heard of these things called gliders?
Maybe.
Well, you could have my glider, and they can be your best friend. Well, no, I'll be your best friend. It'll be your second friend.
Okay.
And then you won't be so lonely.
My friend Ski, is
Yes.
there a reason you're here?
Me
I'd
and
like to
my
talk to you
friend.
about a
Me and
timeshare.
me and my other friends who are hiding because they think that you're scary, but you're not scary. You're actually pretty cool, and I like your suit.
As you say that we're hiding, we're just
I
like
never
15
said I was
feet
hiding.
behind you, standing in the middle of the path.
Yeah.
It's just like they're right there. I think we're here to get some info, but I don't want you to feel pressured.
You must seek the library.
Ooh, could you show me the library, Frederick?
What information do you seek?
We see, and like Ski's like, why are we here?
Colt's gonna come up all smiley,
Research left at his estate
Hey.
from
Frederick.
Jay Freak.
He,
Frederick,
like
this is
waves,
cool.
and it's like it's a horrifying motion.
It's like you hear
Yeah,
cracks the whole
Colt's just-
time. Like,
Yeah, it's
Gonna
he
keep
like he
smiling,
twitches
like, this
his
is weird, but
fingers
we're
as he
going
does
with
it.
it.
Yeah.
Ski's looking up like, this is my new friend, and I love him, and we will have walks, and we will play together, and I will have friends.
We were hoping to get some information on the pillars that are kind of hidden around everywhere.
He like squints his eyes, and in this closeness, they're just yellow. You know he's looking at you, but it's just yellow.
Like
That-
pupil,
Like
anything, just yellow
just
orb.
yellow orbs. You know he's watching you, but you can't, like, you can feel it. It's uncanny. And he as he kind of looks at you guys, he goes, I suppose I am only supposed to allow those who are approved.
Oh.
We're approved. I promise you that, Frederick.
This is Frederick. Frederick's my friend.
Frederick.
He's just gonna lift their paw up and just like hold onto a finger like, this is my friend. It's like the kid. It's like the kid and the giant adult and just like, my friend.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And he like looks around. You hear like his antlers like dragging on the door frame that he's standing in. He goes, I fear it will be night soon and unsafe for you. Please come in. And he walks back into the house.
I'm gonna just walk right in.
Very kind of you, sir.
Okay then.
I'll mage hand my coat up and hang it on his antler. No.
The interior of this home feels taller, like it was almost built to accommodate somebody of Frederick's size. And everything, it's just the front door that's slightly ill-fitting. But he leads you still like horribly hunched over, like his neck craned down, which you've now noticed is like way too long. And it like his whole body seems to be like shrunk in, but he fits somewhat through the space. And happily leads you into a large foyer on the left side. So as you kind of walk in through the front doors, to your left is like a sitting room, which is where he's taken you. To the right, you could see like there was a dining room, and then there were like kitchens towards the rear. So this lower floor clearly seems to be set up for some kind of entertaining space previously. There is cloth draped over most of the furniture, which he very like carefully like takes off and with like very delicate ease folds them in place and is like placing them to the side.
Right, Frederick might be my new favorite character. I'm just saying. Seems to have his shit together more than I do.
Yeah.
And he gestures to the couches for you to sit. Go ahead, sorry, I cut you off.
Good. No. When it's right, I don't know if it's right now, but I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
I mean,
Ooh.
at any time will be right whenever you so choose.
I think I'll just wait because we're gonna sit down. Is he gonna sit down with us?
No, he won't sit, but he will stand with you.
Okay, I'm gonna do it now, just as he's like gesturing for us to sit down.
Okay, throw it in the description for me.
Detect thoughts.
You can read the thoughts of certain creatures, and you cast a spell. Your actions on each turn until the end spell. You can focus your mind on one creature within 30 feet. 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language. Creatures unaffected. So it looks like you learn like kind of the surface level thoughts, and the longer you focus on it, the more. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to roll me first a wisdom save.
Okay. I didn't really want to probe any deeper because I didn't want to take any risk with it. I just kind of wanted to.
He's not rolling the wisdom save. You are.
Yeah. Right.
Oh no.
Okay, right.
Oh
right.
no.
Yikes. Well, that's what you want to hear. Okay.
I believe.
Let's try
That's
an
a good
18.
save.
So with an 18, you are fine. But as you reach into Frederick's mind, it is chaos. It is pain. It is a suffering. But it's almost like something is calming that down. You can tell, even just on the very surface of it, like there is a feral monstrosity sharing a mind with this creature.
Does he like my jacket? Or
Is he and Ski best friends?
he
Yeah.
seems weirdly nonplussed by your existence.
yeah.
But he also seems like if this was a human, they would be being polite and waiting for you to leave would be kind of the general vibe that you are getting.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Please
the timer's
leave.
already on.
Like you showed up to a friend's house uninvited, they invited you in for coffee, they had you sit down for coffee, and now they're standing in the doorway like to the living room, not sitting down with you, kind of being like,
Waiting for the point of it all.
yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah. I just want to get a piece of that as I'm sitting down, and I have picked up at level 4 telepathic, so I can speak to people in their minds. So Colt, you would hear in your mind, Destin, hey, this is
Like,
This
I don't
is,
know if you can answer
Flynn.
back. Just like,
here, just letting you know, I don't think you can even.
no, I don't think you can.
Just
I
letting
think
you
there's
know,
one
and
way.
I'm gonna tell everybody else, this aberration is completely fucking non-existent in the head. So just as a heads up, there's no reasoning or anything with this entity, and I'm just gonna pass that information on to everybody. Also, giving everyone just a quick like mental like knock knock, like before getting in there, because this
He's
is the
like,
first time that I would have done any of this.
Out loud. Sophia just like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, whatever.
If he's
Yeah,
bothered
no,
by
he
this
is weird.
exchange,
Sorry.
he doesn't like seem to be.
Frederick,
Yes,
is there any way we can see the library?
it is only open to members of the. And you see him like reach down. He's like scratching at the hardwood floor, like he's trying to recall something. And he goes,
The Frontier Adventure Company?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's us.
You're the
You're in
frontier.
luck.
Good.
Really?
It just like pulls out
And
the
I'll
badge.
show my little
Yeah.
like badge. Yeah.
He takes the badge from you, and he kind of like, again, like kind of like a spider holding a fly is the best way I can describe what you're watching with his hand, as he's holding it, and he's like kind of, and you can see him thinking about whatever it is that's there, that's kind of in this. And it's slow, it's deliberate, it's purposeful, and he hands it back to you, and he goes, "What are you specifically looking for?"
We're looking on information on one Jonathan Krieg and the research he was doing on the pillars,
on the towers.
Oh,
the towers.
that would not be in the library.
Oh,
Where would that be then?
His personal study.
are we able to go there?
You may.
But
It is embarrassing.
we
Well, I mean,
All the pages are stuck together.
we all do
I mean,
embarrassing
that's
things,
fair.
Frederick.
Just be like,
You can let
Frederick,
us
it's
know."
okay. She just like pats its leg, like, it's okay, buddy.
So Frederick leads you from this room to like the back of the house, and there's like it looks like it's an addition that's kind of built on to like contain to where there would have been a cellar originally. It's boarded up, it's like carefully constructed, but you watch him like ever so gently like basically just pull the boards off super specifically and like place them aside. It's reverent. It's not like somebody ripping things off to let you in. This is somebody who's done this process very specifically. Even as you look at the nail holes, you can realize that like they've been basically reinserted into the same holes every single time. As he leads you down into the room, the first thing that hits you is the stench of death. It is a foul smell that hits you as you descend the stairs, and you find what can only be described as a very archaic butchery. There are the remains of animals carefully placed, but with zero regard for, like, preservation. They're just kind of, like, partially butchered and carefully placed into spaces and stuff like that. But there's no icebox here, there's no nothing. This is just, like, a corpse pit, effectively, is what you got. And while you're in his presence, Frederick will not look at them.
Oh.
Frederick,
Are they
do this?
fresh?
Some of them are. Some of them are fresh.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you asked there.
Was this by your hands,
Yes.
Frederick?
I
Yeah.
must feed.
And are you the only one that tends to this here property?
I try.
He's just
Ain't nothing
hungry,
wrong with
guys.
getting a
We all
bite.
gotta eat, so
Yeah, he
nothing to
gets
be
the
embarrassed about.
num-nums.
But towards the back, like past all of this, there's a large steel door. From his coat, Frederick like pulls a set of keys that feel like impossibly delicate in his hands, for just how tiny they're. It's just a normal key ring being held by this monster, who is now like carefully sorting through the keys. You know how like sometimes you look at your keys and you're like, which key? Like somebody hands you like a foreign and you're kind of like having to think about it. It's that, but imagine you're holding keys made for ants. And he's like very carefully studying each key as he like pulls them through delicately before he arrives at one and unlocks the door. He kind of stands there, and there's this odd moment where you can see him like, it's almost like he's having a conversation with himself, the way he kind of like half twitches, before eventually he like turns to look back at you, and he looks at the door, and he looks at you again, and he goes, "No funny business," and he opens the door into the room.
Thank you, Frederick.
Very kind of you, sir.
Of course not.
If we touch something, we'll put it straight back.
I appreciate that.
And no mess, so you don't have to clean it up. That's not fair to you. Just
I love how sweet Skeletta's being to this like abomination.
It's just like
Yeah.
he's just like, he has been nothing but kind. He opened the door. He said, "Hey, how are you?" And he's like, "You're my friend now. We'll get stuffed tacos later."
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
this
exactly
is
it.
like a 5-star interaction on both ends of this. You're gonna 5-star us, we're gonna 5-star you.
Yeah.
It's perfect for the air D&D.
Air D&D is
Yeah, I
so
love
funny.
Yes.
Oh, that's going on my list.
We're just never gonna like tidy up after ourselves and
You know what? We could. And Frederick, you should open this up as a B&B. Make more friends.
I could never.
You're so
Frederick.
lovely.
you're an excellent host.
Everybody would love to hang out with you. I like hanging out with you.
You shouldn't.
But you're cool. And you're so kind. And I can teach you how to cook so then these don't go bad so fast.
I prefer them like this.
Oh, then you should probably get like this like a meat locker, because then all the heat and everything will make it rot faster.
He's trying to be helpful.
He's like looking at the door, looking at you, and he's just doing this like casual like gesture, like, you know, like somebody's trying to be like, "Please go in now," Except for it's very much not subtle because, again, all of his limbs have to move in weird ways to make the gesture happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you later, Frederick, and just skips inside.
Thank you, Frederick. Now, I know you don't want us to ask you too many questions or bug you too much, and I promise we'll get out of your hair as soon as we can, but you weren't always like this.
No.
Were you a friend of Mr. Krieg?
Sort of. His wife helped.
Gotcha. I understand. You've been like this for a long time then.
Long as I can remember.
All right. I won't bug you. I won't press you anymore for it. Appreciate the honesty.
As
And I'll head into the office room.
as we're leaving, I'm just gonna be like, hey, Frederick, I don't want to press you. I don't want to bother you none, but you ever,
Ask the same questions.
if you ever want to make some real money, have you ever heard of mukbang? All right, never mind. I'll see you later.
You ever heard of OnlyFans?
Well, he is a monster. You know there's... Never mind.
There'd be an audience.
I wanna see you eat a deer.
So as you enter the room, leaving Frederick behind, one of the things you notice is it's like he can't enter the room. You're not quite sure if it's a mental block that's keeping him out or if there's something else to it. But even as he pushed the door open, he was like pushing the door open and then like no further than he absolutely had to. You enter the room. You easily find an oil lamp to light and get some light going in the space. And you find yourself in a room that feels in stark contrast to the room that you were previous, like to the house that you were in. It's constructed of stone. It looks like it's meant to survive an artillery strike. In fact, you get a sneaking suspicion that this was here and then there was a house. Even the way that, like, the floor dips down lower, you have to step down a couple steps to get into the room. It's been built for this purpose. It's scattered with books and papers and drawings. And there's a lot going on in here. Is there something specific you're looking for?
Well, Ski can't read Common, because Common is their second language, and they can only speak it. So, to be nice, Ski's gonna clean, because he can't go, Frederick can't get in. So he's like, you know what, I'm gonna help Frederick out, and just starts like, cleaning.
Just clumping up like stacks of paper and making them neat and tidy.
All right.
Get Strudel to dust off the cobwebs with their tail.
But before, sorry, I love everything about it, but before we really start moving everything around, can we just like take in the scene for a moment? I kind of want to check out everything as it was left and see if there's any clues as to what was last previously worked on and like what the timeline of these papers are stacked and stuff like that. Just like switching fully into like investigator mode.
I like the way you're thinking there, Mr. Flint. Let me just and I'll close my hand around my holy symbol, and I'll reach up and I'll put my hand on the butt of my rifle that's kind of sticking up over my shoulder. And I will use my holy weapon feat for a sermon of divination. And I'll, say a little prayer. Dear divines of knowledge and wisdom, of those who peer into the darkness and find nothing but light, guide us as we try to find something in this mess. And for the next 10 minutes, all of us have advantage on intelligence-based skill checks and saving throws for 10 minutes.
You also have guidance?
I also have guidance, and I will guide you.
You don't want to. Yeah, yeah.
And also one from me specifically.
Hell yeah.
Ski's gonna need to just like wing one of you guys and be like, "Can you teach me how to read later on?"
From
Yeah, of course.
from the gods, from men. Flint, find your clues. Amen.
Preach, father, preach.
First and foremost,
Get-
like, give me a perception roll. Let's see what you see initially on walking in.
Initially on walking in, for
Yeah.
sure. Straight up perception. Okay. All right.
Can
all right.
I-
Is this?
Can
is
I
this
aid on the perception
a-
roll?
Yeah,
As well.
for sure. You guys could.
Is this
I'll
with
help
the
you out.
advantage or?
Yeah, this is. I believe that's advantage because it's intelligence and wisdom, right?
Perception is no, it's just intelligence.
Oh,
Just
just
intelligence.
Okay.
Okay.
So
all right,
I'm helping. I'm helping with the perception, so
Nice.
it'd give you advantage.
So you have 16, which is still higher than your passive. So as you look around the room, as the light starts to kind of fill the room, basically the room is constructed of a large table that starts on
Add the
one
D4.
wall.
Add the D. Hold on, before you get too far, you forgot guidance. Add the D4.
Oh, pardon me.
We don't know. Could have been.
19.
So yeah, so basically as you walk in, the wall closest to you is bare. There's nothing on it except for the oil lamps that you've got. And then there's a wooden table that runs basically along the 3 other walls. It is covered in like equipment and pieces of like study that it looks like he was working on, pieces of machinery, pieces of stonework that seem to be carved with runes. Books are scattered everywhere. Some of them like are books you might have seen in a library before and never caught your eye. Some of them look like they're probably like, if they're not original copies or like one-offs, they're probably something similar in terms of rarity that you're looking at. A lot of it is fine details that are there. As you scan around, there does appear to be a pattern to the chaos. The big thing being is that the 2 flanking walls seem to be where most of the like pieces of equipment are, or where he's got like tinkering benches and stuff set up, that he's got various pieces that were set up in states of deconstruction or possibly reconstruction. It's hard to tell. The wall opposite of you appears to be where most of his research is. There's a couple of chairs sitting around it. That's where most of the books are set. There's actually like bookshelves built onto the walls. But the piece that catches your eye, probably the most prominent, is a picture of 2 figures. On one end, on the right-hand side, is an almost formless being who's got their hands outstretched, and from it seems to be light, maybe water. It's hard to quite tell. The artwork is old. This like old. It looks like it probably came from somewhere important. And from him are chains that are wrapped around his limbs. So one on his wrists, one on his ankles, one around his chest, one around his neck, one around his waist. Yeah, that's right. I had to make sure I was doing that right. And from that, there's these chains that drive into stakes in the ground. Opposite him is a similar being, formless but deformed would probably be more of an accurate descriptor. Vaguely humanoid at best. In its left hand, it holds a hammer. In its right is a stake with chains that wrap around its arm.
Does this look like it has any religious
It 100%
affiliation?
does. Yes,
Can I roll a religion check?
definitely can.
I will roll with advantage 13.
Yeah. So, this is an icon. This is similar to Oh my god, I can't speak today. This is similar to religious symbolism that you've seen before, but it's depicted differently. The figure on the right you recognize immediately as kind of a multi-religious deity. They appear in every religion constantly as a healer, as somebody who weaved magic together, as somebody who, in times of great calamity, opened up, as an orc. One of the stories you remember hearing is of this entity had ripped the tops off of the volcanoes so that fertile land may flow forth. That's what you recognize him from pretty quickly. It's a pretty iconic depiction of him, but it's different. All of the depictions of him you've ever seen before have always come from him facing forward, and he was standing. In this depiction, he is kneeling and he's facing the other figure. You do recognize the other figure, and his lore is the newest, so I'm just gonna have to open it super quickly to make sure I don't bungle it as I say it properly. So this is an entity that is quite commonly referred to as an apocalyptic being, but not in the sense of like their presence brings apocalypse. It's more in the note that they have previously caused an apocalypse. There is an essence of them being the opposite to the other entity. Both of them don't really have solidified names. It kind of changes depending on who your faith is and what your belief is. But there's a regular phrasing that gets used around him, and that's calamity. That's not his name. That's not what it is. But depictions of him usually are depictions of calamity. You've seen stories of him being told as secretly causing floods or to bring drought to lands. That's the kind of essence that he's always told in. He's the ubiquitous bad guy. And in a similar light, he is always facing towards when presented. Hammer in his left hand, nail and chains in the right. But it's very clear from this depiction as he faces his opposite, hammer in his right, chains in his nail and chains in his left. So whatever this is, and this looks to be an old piece of art. There's a discrepancy in his depiction, and there's also another thing, and it's that he is standing over the other one, who is always depicted, if he's standing amongst other gods, to be standing beside them, to stand tall with them, and never to be bowing. So this is a very odd piece of art to you.
Those stakes, what color are they?
Purple. Kind of a purplish pink.
Weird. All right.
A lot going on in this room here.
Before we get too deep into investigating this room, I want to take our last break. So we're going to send you guys off for a 3-minute quick break. Get your sillies out, go refill your water bottles, because I feel like it's going to be a night of hydrating. And we'll see everyone here in about 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
everyone, and we're back. Where we left off, you guys had depictions of a stunning room that you were looking at, and I'm sure more questions to ask since then, so we'll carry on from there.
He's cleaning. Can't help with this, so you're on your own, buddies.
Now,
Oh, do I notice anything while
have
cleaning?
a few sneaking suspicions. Ooh.
Roll me an investigation check.
With advantage. And guidance.
Cool, because I got like a -1 in that. 18.
That
And 1d4?
advantage,
Plus a d4.
Plus
that
a
and a
D4.
advantage and like difference makes a huge difference. There.
Yep. 19.
19.
19.
I love it.
19 on a -1. I appreciate it.
Thank
So
you.
as-
Thank you,
as-
Dion.
as you look around, it's you wouldn't know the words. You don't read common, but you also not reading common is coming in handy to a degree, because you know what common looks like. You've seen it. But I'm assuming Ski reads Sylvan, right?
Yes, that is correct.
You do
That's
find
why
it-
she doesn't know. She doesn't know like father means like priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do find books in Sylvan. But it's like immediately you're like, oh, that's Sylvan. But as you look at it a little bit longer, it's the same way as like trying to look at like Arthurian legend written in like actual like English
Like
from
old
the
English.
times. Yeah. Where it's closer to like modern, like to Welsh than it is to modern day English. It's that kind of old.
Do I see anything that represents like the hammer? Like any symbols that were on the hammer around here?
I will give you this. From the hammer, it is you are making the connection that the language that is inscribed on the hammer is you can see that there is a connection between the old Sylvan that you see and probably what was written on the hammer. It's not Sylvan, it wasn't Sylvan that was written on the hammer, but you can see like there's a divergent point at some point, and it's of a similar structure to the Sylvan that you see.
Okay, and I can't read these books, right? Like I can pull them up and it just feels like gibberish to me.
Like you can like you recognize some of the words, but like some of them you're like, I have no idea what that word is.
Okay. He's gonna pick up the book and put it back. Cool. And just be like, and I'm gonna relay the info to them, but not as like in depth as you put it, because Q would switch. It's like, there's some books on ancient Sylvan here, and it seems that it might be tied to the hammer.
I'll definitely take back anything of interest for sure. I got lots of space in here.
We promised Frederick not to take anything.
Well, is that did we say that?
Yes.
We did say that.
You did. So maybe
I
we should ask
guess.
permission first.
And we
Alright.
could just copy it, and then we could take it back.
You do that too.
They're like tone. Hold on. I feel like you need a depiction of like size here for a second.
If he brings out a fucking tome, I swear to God.
He's bringing out a
He's
tome.
bringing out
It's
a tome.
David.
It's gonna be like this giant
He's grabbing
thing.
a
I'd be like,
tome.
what is it? And he's like, it's a recipe book. And I'm gonna be like,
It's a phone book.
I wouldn't be surprised if David has like a 1-1 copy of like an Elder Scrolls
like
book laying
this.
around somewhere. Oh no, it's an actual
it's
textbook.
a textbook.
Okay, never mind.
We were
Okay.
debating whether it was gonna be a cookbook you were gonna bring, a textbook.
I was.
But
What
Star
is that?
Trek.
Star Trek Voyages.
Right.
Oh
my God.
You
nerd.
nerd.
Yes, that's the
okay.
part that makes me nerdy.
Yeah, not that we're streaming D&D, all of us together.
Not your,
Myself.
not your Sonic the
Background.
Hedgehog skate decks.
Which are fantastic.
Not,
Yeah.
not the phenomenal lore you've just written for us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or Ski's new friend. who I just love. But yeah, the Ski's just like, we told Frederick we won't take anything. You can ask Frederick, but we promise. So I'm not gonna take anything.
All right, that's fair. We'll just take notes best we can, and I might just, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? I'll just give him a quick
Just ask. Yeah.
pop my head out. Hey,
Worst you can say is no.
yeah, right, exactly. We'll be right back here then. Frederick, Mr.
Yes.
Frederick, just curious now, would we be able to say alleviate this place of some of its burden and take some of these here with us for further reading and inspection back homes?
A few.
All right, that's mighty generous of you. Now, I'm gonna say 3 to 4 would be a few for my category. So I'm gonna keep it to that. Is that all right? Is that amicable?
That would be acceptable.
That's mighty funny. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Freddy.
Freddy.
Ready? You got 2 names in one day. That's incredible.
I was waiting for Colt to do it. I was like, come on.
I didn't want to push it. I didn't name him. I thought I was gonna.
No, I think
Colt-
Ski doing it is much better.
Colt likes names like they like themselves. Short.
Ouch. I'm small but mighty, thank you.
Well, let's. I guess we can take a few things back with us. Let's
Okay.
gather the most
Let's
important.
pick the right things.
Is there anything here that looks like a diary?
Yeah.
Something that would like
Yeah.
a journal? Something that he would have been writing in until he
Yeah,
left.
there's a couple of them actually.
What's the one that was? Is there like one that looks like he put like a final entry in before leaving
There's
into the
There's one like
storm?
in the middle of the desk.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Let me read some of that bad boy. What's in there?
As you kind of like, I'm assuming, are you starting like kind of at the back and like flipping kind of like backwards, trying to like see where like the entry is?
Yeah, I'm going backwards through
Yeah.
time.
It's a lot of it's theory and speculation. The journal in question refers to his own death as though he knows it to be 100% certain. Not in the sense of like, oh, I can feel myself dying soon, but in like a like, I was told that this is the end and this is the end.
I've thought of death so much it's a memory.
But it's like, it's very much a like, I'm gonna greet it as an old friend kind of thing. But it refers to the fact that like he's unhappy, he hasn't had a chance to finish his work, that a lot of what he is working on best be avoided, and he's not sure the moves being made by other powers, or why specifically people were looking so heavily into the towers in question. But he doesn't refer to them as towers. He does refer to them as nails.
Yeah.
There's a reverence spoken to them about their purpose and their function. But it's weird because with that he also speaks as though he's seen them. But he doesn't say so.
Mm-hmm.
It's nowhere explicitly said like when I was visiting them or when I happened upon one or anything like that, but there's a familiarity that comes from it in his writings. And as you kind of get further and further back, it becomes less of this like, I know what I have to do and I'm going to go do it, and I hope that all of the preparations I've put into place protect things. there's also like basically the footnotes section, the bottom like eighth of the page is got like numbers written in the bottom of it. It doesn't look like a cipher. It looks like he's referencing pages, and so there's probably some code that he's put together to like reference back to other pieces of his research. But as you kind of like flip back through, you find yourself kind of skimming over. A lot of it does talk about the irony of protecting them and the imbalances it causes other places. There's a phrase though that repeats several times anytime he talks to his own mortality, and the line is, "Everything dies, even gods." And it's almost like he's like writing it to reassure himself over and over again. But it's religious. It's like anytime his mortality comes up, it's like it's the next line that's written in his notes.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something specific, you're gonna have to take some time to read through it, though.
Yeah, that's something that I'll be doing over the next few days, I think.
Yeah.
Like just instinctively, I want to
Mr.
pour through the evidence.
Mr. Colt, Mr. Flynn, it looks like I found a cipher or code in here. You mind helping me look for other books and such that it might be referencing? I think it might be a good place to look. A good lead.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Pisky's just be like,
Ski you too.
Is it redundant for
I can
Flint
look in
to
Sylvan.
investigate the room at this
Starts
point?
looking.
I mean, give me an investigation check and see if you find something different. You'll be looking for different things too, right? For Ski, it
Yeah.
was as looking around, looking at things, kind of thing.
found the tomes.
Oh, it's only a
15.
Oh no, this one's just a bit.
Hold on, I'm just trying to remind myself of Flint's page here. Give me 2 quick seconds. Kind of thumb it over. So as you know, with your, it's a 15, right?
Yeah.
Or
No, I got a 50.
15 from Colt, 14 from Flint.
Flint.
Plus your guidance. I don't think either of you rolled that.
Oh, no.
I think I used mine on the other, but I figured
Roll
it
your
would be another
guidances.
one. Yeah, okay. 17.
Guess what?
16.
Tap
Guess what?
another guidance.
Guided.
And just start smacking them in the back of the head.
Consider yourself
So 17,
guided.
16 is what we're looking here. You know, we'll start with Colt first. You know, Colt, what are you looking
Okay.
for specifically?
I guess I'm kind of hearing that Sylvan, there's a book in Sylvan here. I'm looking for maybe a book or books in Elvish.
Okay. There are books in Elvish, newer Elvish, so in Serusha, and then there are books in like capital E Elvish. And when we refer to capital E Elvish in the lands, and being, you know, gentlemen raised in a bit of a higher life, you know there's 2 types of Elvish. There's modern Elvish, or Serusha, the language that the Serusha speak, and then there is, you know, old Elvish. And they're not really the same language. In the same sense, there's a massive divergence in the sense a lot of the words are the same, but like conjugation isn't. So you can piece together like how words are put together, but you often aren't sure if it's past tense or like present tense. But there's a few of them in Old Elvish.
The Old Elvish I see, does it remind me kind of what is on the hammer?
Again, similar.
Similar?
There's it's almost like what's written on the hammer is a root language, Latin to like the Romance languages, right? It's whatever's on there is older than these languages themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's again, there's a few that you can look through. Some of them are technical like documents, Some of them are, like, for something as old as it is, they don't feel out of place for your current timeline. And then some of it's, they're like mythos. You can see repeating references to godly figures, but you don't recognize the names of the gods themselves.
Okay.
Flint, with your brilliant 17, what are you looking for specifically?
I think Flint would be trying to focus on the towers or the nails. Probably even like the location of them. Any sort of identifiable way, because they are hidden. So I'm curious how they're hidden. Anything of that nature.
Roll me any dice, evens and odds, and just call evens or odds.
Evens with a D4.
Okay. So what you find is less like locations and more references to like not necessarily the construction. It doesn't feel like the right phrase, but you understand that whatever they were, whatever it took to build them, there was a sacrifice made. And it's vague. It's referred in the same kind of sense. And again, in we're talking old texts, so you're piecing words together from what you can understand. But it's like cobbled together accounts of like, these are not holy places is basically the reoccurring theme. Like don't worship here, don't set up temples here. They're not places of good. But the reoccurring thing that you notice as you kind of like thumb through a few of the books is that they talk about how things shifted. And it's weird how it's phrased. And again, piecing it together and trying to come together with the exact phrasing and everything, it's odd. But you find a book in what's colloquially known as Treason Common, which is common but really, 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 really old. We're talking, it fell out of use as a mainstay language about 4,000 years ago, shortly after the Night of 1,000 Tears. And about the time the Treso Empire started to collapse. Is kind of where you see it be referenced as the end. And instead of referring to these sites as, you know, holy or you know, with this reverence, they instead seem to refer to them as a last step. They're a solution. But there's a word that catches you as kind of like a, you've seen it used before religiously. You've seen people reference this exact phrasing religiously. And it's the phrase, a necessary calamity.
A necessary?
A necessary calamity. It's often used in temples as a way to say that, you know, a bad thing will happen, and it may seem like a horrible thing that will happen. This specific phrase in Treason Common is often quoted, but it basically translates to a necessary calamity, and in that, the phrase is often used to say it's a bad thing that happens, and there will be bad things that come from it, but it's a necessary bad thing for you to move on with your life.
Like taxes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like losing a shitty job, but like taxes are also a good example.
Lawyers.
Lawyers are another great example.
gods that were depicted as kind of evil.
Well, shit. I guess. Huh. Not a place that you want to be, so it's not going to be around a populated area. So these are all probably going to be out in the wilderness somewhere. Should we even necessarily need to be there? Do we have to go to these places? You guys know.
We were just told to find information about it
What would we even do when we were there?
Alright.
Yeah,
and see if we.
What would we even do?
I don't think there's anything we can do.
We're
Good.
don't think removing nails from gods
Possibly.
would fall within our job
I
description.
mean, unless shit.
Did
Is something bound with these things already?
did-
Or are they trying to
did
bind something?
bind down calamity?
It's binding
that-
down. I think the other.
that-
Oh, y'all are really I think missing the mark
think-
on this one.
I think that Calamity bound down the other.
The weave was failing. It needed more juice. Everything dies, even gods.
I think they actually just killed him.
Nah, not yet.
Alright,
He's
well,
making
One
a
of
Out
them,
of that,
one of
we're
them's
living in a
definitely bound
corpse.
though,
Oh,
like 100%.
absolutely.
Ski's making a paper hat.
Unnecessary calamity.
Oh, just regular
Ski.
paper. Just.
What's the very last entry in this diary that I'm holding? Like the last thing he wrote before disappearing into the sand, into the unknown.
It's a letter to Taz.
Huh? What?
Okay.
It's written in the sense of like you know when you like write a letter you don't intend to send to somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's written like that.
Guess we're gonna send that letter.
And it's an
Push me
apology.
back.
It's an apology, depicting how sorry he is, that things have been set into motion. It's thanking him. You know, he knew that asking him to serve in the O'Clane military was probably not how he wanted to spend his time abroad, and thanking him for staying instead of returning home to his homeland. And it just says, "I'll see you next time," is how it ends.
I'll put the book
UNT.
away in my bag. And I'll look up to Freddy at the door and I'll go, 1.
Ski's gonna walk over to Frederick and put the paper hat on his head. Just.
He stoops low, and it's like he bends at the waist, like spreads his arms out, and like he shouldn't bend as low as he does. There should be organs in the way.
He just puts on the hat. Be like, "There you go. Now you have a hat."
He stands up and he like adjusts it like one would like an actual like bowler hat, so it like sits properly on his head, and then just folds his hands together.
Amazing.
Um,
We're getting a lot of lore dump, and Ski's just making hats.
Yeah.
definitely gonna take a couple of books. Whatever that the Elvish one is.
No.
Yeah,
And
that's
the-
what I was about to say.
And the
The
Sylvan
capital
one.
E Elvish one.
Was there a Sylvan
I
one
have-
as well?
One
Yeah,
last
that's
Yeah,
what I
there's a
found. That's
Sylvan
what
one.
Ski.
Yeah,
That's what
I'll
Ski
take-
found.
And then the English, deep English.
Yeah, the diary that I
Got that one?
pocketed.
Okay, perfect. So
What about the?
3 altogether.
We have 3 so far, yeah.
I think we got three all
can have
together so
one
far. I
more.
think we were allowed to
We
take
have one more.
4.
Did you want one?
Hold on, let me do one more sweep.
Wait, what about the painting?
Flint, you mind?
Or the fiction?
I think that I'll be honest with you, Mr. Flint. I don't want to carry that painting all the way back to
Oh,
San
that
Mist.
big, huh?
We roll it up.
I mean, I assume
it's
it's
like-
a,
It's
like with the amount of
like a
detail.
wall sized. Like this is something that
Oh.
would, like this used to sit in a temple somewhere. There's probably a temple very mad that it no longer sits there anymore.
We could cut the canvas, roll it up, and stuff it in the bag.
Hold on.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
No one listens to me.
Is there any way, like, we didn't find a map or anything that would depict it
Does an
being closed?
18 hit you, Mr. Flint?
No, it does not. Shield. Hey, what you doing?
Unfortunate. I just full on went to slap you across the face for suggesting that we cut this image, this portrait, this painting of historical and religious significance out of its frame.
I mean, what's it doing here? Collecting dust? We could at least figure
There are
something
some
out.
things,
Yeah.
Mr. Flint, that you do not deface. Some things deserve respect, and that respect is
We're
leaving it
missing
in place
something.
and not running your filthy, rusty ass knife through it.
I mean, I could just take a quick copy of it. I have some skills in that area.
Is there anything behind the painting?
You have to investigate it.
Oh, I'm gonna investigate it.
Yeah, go for it. Guidance. I was about to start looking for any hidden compartments or magical items.
Oh God.
D4. Roll a
Ooh.
D4. Roll a D4.
D4 is gonna help.
Do it.
8, 9, 10, 11. That's an 11.
11.
As you kind of go to like investigate it, you can't feel anything.
Okay.
I would like to look for anything that might be magical, anything that might be hidden.
Oh, I'm gonna ritually cast detect magic.
I am also going to ritually cast
nice.
detect magic because I can
Okay,
also
never
do
mind.
that.
You do your
Mhm.
magic stuff. Colt's just at the table.
Here,
doing-
Flint, since we have the
hop in
same
the
idea, why don't you
painting.
give me a hand? We'll both look, and I will roll my perception or investigation. What would you prefer, DM?
It'll be investigation, but what is like since you're both casting detect magic, and two different types of magic. What do they look like? Flint, what does your detect magic look like?
You just see a magnifying glass fucking hover around him, and it starts just like going around the room, like seeing if anything like highlights through the lens of it.
Okay, and then Sophia, what does yours look like?
It is divinely inspired, and of course, being a preacher, you're not tied to one specific deity to worship. And so Sophia's gotten very used to praying to the plural and occasionally reaching out and being like, hey, like this specific God help me with this, or this specific God help us with this. I think this time around, normally when she casts a detect magic, it is a prayer and she traces the rune of an eye of one of the knowledge gods above her forehead, and it will kind of shimmer in place before absorbing. This time around, she sits for a minute and she thinks, and she holds her hands out in front of her horizontally and presses them together. And a small mote of divine energy forms before she clasps it down and opens her hands again. And how many pillars are in the portrait in front of us?
So there are 7 on the nondescript god, and 1 more held in the hand of Calamity.
Okay. So she'll press down this divine energy and she lifts her hands up again. And there's a single nail, like a carpentry nail in the middle, with 8 other nails spinning around it. And she just holds it there. And there's one nail that is a darker color than the rest of them. Most of them have that kind of standard divine light. But there's one that has that pinkish purplish hue. And she uses it like a compass as it twirls around that middle nail.
Okay, both you give me another investigation check.
Investigation. 14, and I'm gonna guide myself. Sorry, Mr. Flint.
You take it.
So
17 total.
Flint, what do we got for you?
21.
Whew, 21. Nice.
Very nice.
So we'll start with the father as your compass is kind of like searching around the room, and it first seems to like lock onto the painting.
Yeah.
Through your eyes, you get to see the wisps of color that are going on, and there's a faint golden glow that like clings to the edges of this. This has been a religious artifact for so long that it's taken on a bit of divinity itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the thing that catches your eye the most. But you also notice those gold strands seem to like wisp out and connect to other things, almost like there's pieces that are tied to this research. A seemingly mundane looking knife, for example, sitting that you didn't really pay much attention to because it was just plain old knife, didn't look like anything special. And again, it's that like touch of divinity that's like connected to it. It's hard to piece together how the two of them might be related, but something tells you they are. And it's not really making a whole lot of sense. And it kind of like spider webs out to different like pieces. It looks like there was stuff that Jonathan Krieg was working on, that he was investigating and bouncing around and playing with, that you start to see the tiny touches of what he was collecting. Some of them are coins, for example. There's a pile of ancient Triso money, worth only what collectors will pay for it, which is not a small amount, but it's definitely a pretty decent, like a small chunk in the grand scheme of things. But you'll notice that they're laid out in pairs, is the thing that immediately comes to mind. Flint, your investigation, your eyes are tuned for something different. You're used to looking to see how mechanical pieces come together, and as you scan around the room, there's little trinkets that you start to notice. A combination of colors wisps off of what looks to be a mechanical arm, but as you get closer, you realize that like it's mechanical, but it feels organic in the way that it's been put together. The way the tubes run through it look almost like you would expect from a circulatory system, very different from what Mr. Colt's arm has on it. You see that there's wisps of artifice kind of clinging to various pieces around the room that he's assembled, he's put together. You get the distinct impression that Jonathan Krieg was probably an artificer, much like yourself, from the way things are put together, or perhaps maybe he worked with one. But the other thing really of note that catches your eye, on the opposite side of the room is an old shield, and it's powerfully magical. The magic seems to be almost stuck to it. It's heavy. As you get closer and you look at it, like the person walking around carrying this would have to have, if you had an arbitrary set of numbers set aside, probably somewhere in the range of a +4 or +5 in their modifier to be able to even successfully carry this around easily. It's heavy, it's thick, but it's also, as you get closer to your trained eye, really, really old. The other thing that both of you notice as you're kind of like looking around the room, tucked away is a brooch you can see on Frederick's chest. It looks like a very nice piece put together, and it's a powerful series of spells are clearly imbued into this.
Sorry, can you repeat that? That last part?
Yeah, on Frederick's, like on his like lapel, he's wearing like looks like a brooch.
Right.
and it's a powerful combination of spells have come together on that piece.
Interesting. Yeah, well, that's his.
Yeah.
You know who has a +5 in strength?
Yeah. Hey, hey, Ski, would you mind ever so gently pulling this here shield down off the wall? Looks kind of
okay.
interesting to me.
Okay. He's gonna walk over and pull the shield off the wall.
Okay. Does Ski have a +5?
Yep.
Holy shit.
He has a +5 in strength and a +4 in constitution. Everything else is garbage.
+5
Empty.
strength check, like saving throw. I'm talking like a straight
Oh.
like the regular strength, like a 20. You'd have to have a 20 strength to like successfully use this
Oh, because it says I do have a +5 in strength.
for your saving throw. I'm looking at your character sheet
yeah,
right
I have a 17.
Yeah.
Oh.
now. You could give me a roll. You can get it off the wall. You just wouldn't be able to use it as a shield effectively.
Aw.
It might be a nice gift for Taz.
That's not a bad idea. A little
Well, on a
little,
21, can I
reciprocity.
use it now?
You can pick it up off the wall. It's awkward to hold. You're able to carry it, no problem. But like to actually like manage, especially on your small frame, it's made for somebody much bigger than you. For you could like strap it to your back and use it as like back armor if you really wanted to.
Turtle shell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ski's just gonna pick it up and be like, where do you want it?
well, I was thinking maybe we can just take it with us, and when you get stronger, maybe you can use it. We can learn a little bit more about it. I can also ritually cast Identify. So
how about identify?
Let's maybe not do that now, Mr. Flint. We can do that at a later time.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's just take it with us for now, and then we'll do some studying.
The the father's words ring in your mind. There's a time and place for everything.
He's just gonna look at you guys and be like, it's way too big for me to use. It's too big.
Yeah. Well, in the last entry here in Mr. Krieg's journal, he does mention Tazbor, and I think it'd be nice to bring something back for him. It seems like they were fairly
He's
close.
gonna look at Frederick and be like, Frederick, can we take this for his friend?
Yes.
Thank you.
Be
We're
the
gonna bring it to
last
Tazzy.
thing.
I don't know who that is.
Tazbor, dear Fred.
His mind is
No
full
way.
of sparks and shit. I don't know if he gets.
And I'd like to look into the. You said that there's pairs of objects around the room that are like tied. Do any of them look worthwhile, or are they just like he was
the
doing
ones
something?
that are probably the most interesting to you is like kind of laid out on like a cloth. Are 8.
Yeah.
And like you'd recognize them for like what they are because you've probably seen them around like religious buildings and stuff like that because they're kept. They're Triso coins, but they're from like when Triso was an empire.
And the
Gotcha.
knife, right?
And there's a
A knife.
mundane knife, yes.
Yeah. That mundane knife, it feels like more of like a ritual
Yeah.
knife. It doesn't feel like it's got any special properties to it beyond just being vaguely imbued with divine energy.
I think Colt would want to see if there's any like maps rolled up.
Okay, give me one final investigation check then.
Okay.
I'll grab those coins.
Okay.
Give 'em.
12?
12. Okay, so with a 12, they're fragments of maps that you find.
Okay.
It looks kind of like the globe you know, but not quite right. Like you could like see parts of it, and you're like, I think I know where that is, but like things don't look accurate.
Okay.
But they're old, so is it because they were mapped wrong, or is something different about them? You wouldn't know.
I feel like something's different. Would Colt be able to do like a rough sketch of what he sees, just like on some paper he has before they go?
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Colt is gonna do that. He doesn't know what this is, but maybe Taz or someone else does.
Well,
I think we've investigated. what we all
everyone
need to
seen
do.
what they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone seen what they need to see
I feel like
here.
we're forgetting
Yes.
something or missing
I know,
something. And it's
but-
driving me crazy because the completionist in me is like, check every corner.
I feel like there's more to this painting still.
Yeah.
Right. Could always come back.
We're not.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
always-
really need.
We can always
Or-
come
or-
back.
We're
Frederick's
friends with-
always one thing.
Frederick.
Did Ski? I'm gonna ask this because you know what? Did Ski at least clean the place up for Frederick nicely?
Yeah, you've tidied it up quite well, actually.
Oh, okay. All I was worried about. Ski made a promise.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, Frederick, thank you so much for letting us come and look. Is there anything we can do for you?
He kind of like looks around for a minute and he's
Us-
like, leave. It's not like a like get the fuck out. It's just a like it would be nice if you left.
Yeah,
Is it?
that's
Is
fair.
it-
I respect that, but I meant like, you know, if you miss anything from the general world that we can get you some of, you know, we got some coffee, some delights that you might not be finding as much
and
out
he
here.
kind of like pulls at his clothes and like standing closer to him, you can see like they've been stitched back together. Like they're worn. They're nice. It's clear somebody took time to like do these at one point, but they're like he's been fixing them.
Oh, I can just imagine him just in the
Can I
corner.
do-
Oh, needle.
Can I cast mending on his suit and get it back to like a nice
Yeah,
proper suit?
I'd say you could do that.
I would like to do that.
Yeah. As you cast mending, you watch like the threads basically like the ones he's like stitched himself back in together like unwind themselves and like pull together, and you watch the fabric kind of like mend itself back into place. The sheen of the fabric comes together. You can tell like there's a lot of care and attention put into this. Whoever did this for him made efforts to make nice clothes for him at the very least.
Now, I know this is a long shot, Mr. Frederick, but you wouldn't happen to have your measurements,
Yeah.
would you?
He holds up a finger, and like you see him kind of like stumble away, in that kind of like awkward gait that he had done. Even as he goes like up the stairs, it's this like awkward thing where he like rotates, like his upper torso rotates like way too far, as he goes up, and then he just kind of like pulls himself up the stairs, and you hear him like clunking around up above you for a bit. And he returns with sheets of paper, and it's his measurements written out in like very fine, delicate writing.
I'm gonna have something made for you, okay? And I'll bring it back here either myself or I'll have someone bring it, okay?
I appreciate
You're
that.
I'll come visit.
you're a good man, and you know what? We'll bring it ourselves,
I think
because
so.
I know you respect your privacy and
And
probably don't
is-
want strange faces.
Is there a material preference or a pattern preference you enjoy? What kind of stitching do you like? All right.
I'll get
Paisley
you a
liner.
proper
I love
hat. I will get you a proper hat. I know someone who makes good hats. Look at Strudel, and just pulls out Strudel with the little hat on. I'll get
It's
you
like a
hat.
cut of leather that's tied to its head.
Yeah.
Can we make Strudel a little suit to match?
Yes.
Your emotional support Wendigo.
Yeah.
You are not saying
How would you
no.
like a new job? All right, we'll get you something made, and we'll get it out here to you.
If I may ask, Freddie. No, and you don't have to answer. It's totally up to you. But did Jonathan make the clothes for you?
No, he had them made.
Huh. Okay. He sounds like a very, very kind man.
He was.
And just while we're sitting here talking to him, I do want to focus in on that brooch with the detect magic spell, because it can show me the schools of magic.
Oh man, you're gonna make me get the sheets out to figure it out.
Tell me the schools of magic, David. If I'm getting this gentleman new clothes, I'm assuming that pendant has to be on him at all times.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. Also, what school of magic is the shield?
Hold on. So the shield has it glows. I am gonna make it difficult for you. It glows with shades of pink, red, and blue. And
Okay.
the brooch. Hold on. It has stats. I just have to find it really super quickly. I didn't think you guys were gonna ask about that.
Have you met?
Yeah, have you met us?
Yeah,
We
I
make
know.
hats.
That's the
We
weirdest
make
shit.
hats for Wendigos and make them be our new friends and name them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you expecting that? Well,
Fucking
whiskey, probably, yes.
Flash.
That's very bright. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was very bright.
No, he's
I opened Google Drive to like scroll through really quickly and just got fucking
It's like
flash banged.
blinded by the light.
Dark mode, baby.
There's
Right?
no dark mode for it to work properly.
For-
It's mostly pink with touches of gray.
Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I know what that means, because there isn't a color sheet here for me to reference.
But we know it. Write it down.
I did.
Or sorry, no, I think I got that backwards. Yeah, pink with gray. Never mind, I was right.
Yeah, okay.
Enchantment with divination magic, if you want to know.
And the other one?
The shield?
Was I told you guys it was red, pink, and blue, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evocation, enchantment, and abjuration.
Okay.
Cool.
Enchantment, abjuration. Okay.
Ski's gonna can't really pat his head, but like pat his leg and be like, I'll visit, I promise.
I would appreciate that.
I will bring you spicy juice.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I already promised.
Well, shit.
I think we should do like a nice velvet suit for him.
I think we'll like start
Yeah, exactly.
leaving,
This
and
is
Flint
the-
and I are just like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Velvet would go with his. Like, he's got like a fur going on, and I feel like Velvet
Maybe-
on fur would be a really bad sensory
Maybe
nightmare.
we stick to cotton.
Maybe we should give him a
maybe,
bath.
maybe tweed. How do we feel about tweed?
Ooh, I like tweed.
Of course, Flint likes tweed. Your guys' journey.
Yeah.
What about leather? What if we got him a nice fine
He's
leather
just gonna wave
suit?
by
Ooh,
as you guys
corset,
are
man?
walking, as we're walking out, like bye.
Ready?
Your guys' trip back to Sandmist is relatively uneventful. You do run into a few travelers. You guys find yourselves with some bandits who come around the corner, realize that you guys are probably tougher than them, and think better of their life choices and skedaddle pretty quickly.
Probably smart.
Not without first paying.
Lessons
tribute.
be.
And you find yourselves back in Sandmist, which is where we will pick up. You've been gone for about a week, so we'll pick up from your week's worth of journeys next week.
Shoot, I need to have that payment.
Oh shit, we didn't make any money on that trip.
No, there was a lack of ransacking that.
Anyone
very
got
evident.
$102?
You got some,
Oh,
some rare
Hey,
coin.
hold on, Ski. Why do you need 102 gold?
But pulls out the shotgun.
Where did you get
You have a shotgun.
fade to
way.
black?
Don't ask questions.
But I need answers.
You're giving that back.
Oh.
Don't be afraid of taking on a little debt, you know? This is how the world works.
Mr. Flint,
Don't encourage us, Flint.
Steve, why do you need that? I was like, oh yeah, you guys don't know. Just pulls out the shotgun. Where did you get that?
Look, I borrowed these health potions.
But
Sophia is head and hands. Oh,
This child's
God.
running around with the shotgun.
It's 0% interest. I couldn't believe it.
Mr. Flint, if the good lords don't put you in the ground, I certainly will.
Because
But-
I don't like I didn't have it. Silly name.
to everyone who's hung out with us for today, thank you so much for coming in, checking us out, hanging out with us for a night, getting to watch some lore dumps, some heartbreaking moments, some wonderful storytelling from our amazing cast, and we will see you all next week where it picks back up. If you are looking for more from our lovely production here, come check us out Monday, where we will be having another episode set in Dungeons and Dragons in Naylor, where you will see some of the lovely faces that.
Oh, no.
No.
Is it not
Nope.
Naylor?
Nope.
Naylor's
No, they were
done.
doing
It's,
Dark
it's
City,
Dark City.
man.
It's Dark
No.
City.
Well, never mind then. You'll be in Dark City, which I'm really excited for because it's a really cool overlay.
Me too.
All
Uh,
three of us will be in it.
So there's gonna be lots of faces that
Of
you
course.
recognize.
All four. Sorry, I didn't count myself.
Yes.
Wait, is it just us and James?
Oh, not you?
Not me.
Oh, never mind. The three.
Three of us will be there.
It is late.
You guys are gonna see some of these lovely
Pretty fun.
faces again on Monday, but until next week, you guys have yourselves a fantastic night, and we will see you soon.
Make new friends.